Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexi here is Sunday morning, and we've got a Raptors Summer League game today. It's going to be the Raptors versus the Orlando Magic, and the game time is for 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. local time in Las Vegas. And yeah, it'll come early, so be ready for the action. It's raining outside here right now, so who knows what kind of day it will be weather-wise, but looking forward to seeing a second look on the Toronto Raptors Summer League team today against Orlando Magic. I've got the latest lineup news. I've got the Instagram stories. We've got all this stuff, the Reddit reactions. So let's get going on the stream today. I'll start with the comments and see what you guys are saying this morning. And we'll go into an overview of the Orlando Magic Summer League roster and talking a little bit about them losing to the Sacramento Kings already in this Las Vegas Summer League already. They are 0-1, and they lost a close game to the Kings. Nick Clifford and Maxime Renault leading the Kings to beat the Orlando Magic Summer League team, their first game of the Summer League. So they're 0-1, and they are, already got a loss on their schedule. So, yeah, let's see who's in here first. Of course, Trevor J is in here first. Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J, I appreciate you. I love you, man. I really, really do appreciate you. Of course, Trevor is up very, very early because he is in Las Vegas, and he's attending all the Raptors Summer League games. He's our eyes on the scene, and hopefully Trevor can give us some insight and insider knowledge from inside the arenas for Summer League with the Toronto Raptors. That's right. Trevor's saying there is a hedge of protection around you that the energy cannot cross, and what is meant for your harm, God said he would use to your advantage. That's interesting, man. Faith in a spirit and a power above is important. Faith in God, faith in Christ, faith in whatever you believe in your spiritual beliefs is important, because there's a lot of things that are unknown in this world that can be scary. And in some ways, you got to just kind of keep your head up and just believe, and you'll get through it, because there are forces out there looking out for you. And that's what Trevor's pointing out here, that there's protective forces out there looking out for you. And I believe this. I appreciate you, Trevor. All the best to you. Blessings to the Jones family and all the other Raptor Freak families out there. That's right. That's right. Trevor's saying Ingram says we are making the playoffs. This team is set, and its goal is set. Yeah, I love that. We haven't heard a whole lot of interviews from Brandon. In some ways, Brandon showed up in the beginning. He made a couple of interviews then saying, yeah, I'm really happy to be on the Raptors. I really like this team. I like the organization. I like the city. I like the multiculturalism of the city. He said a lot of the basic stuff when he came in, but we haven't really heard from him in a deep way until yesterday. And Brandon laid it all out there right there. And I mean, listen, this man's going to be an integral part of the Raptors' success this year. And if this man says he wants to put us in the playoffs and he's going to put us in the playoffs, he's going to put us in the playoffs. I'm going to say that right now. He said this team is going to the playoffs. I'm sorry. And I love that. I love that. I love that confidence. I love that, analyzation of the team to say that, yeah, I think we're good enough. I look at Scotty. I look at RJ. I look at Emmanuel. And I think we are good enough. And I love that. I love that. I wouldn't want anything less from Brandon Ingram, that he's going to come out and tell in an interview, we're going to make the playoffs this year. And I believe him. I don't think he's lying. And, I also love some of the other stuff he was saying. He said he really likes the team and the way they play, and that the defense is good. He said, yeah, the defense is good. It's just we need the offense better. And, well, I'm going to come in and help with that, is what he's saying. He also talked about Emmanuel Quickly and his swagger. He's saying, yeah, I tell Quick, just keep going in your swagger, bro. Keep being in your zone, and we're going to be fine. Yeah, I say the same thing. Emmanuel Quickly has a certain level of play that he can tap into when he's feeling good. And, Brandon Ingram saying, yeah, Emmanuel, keep feeling good. How about that? Keep feeling good. That's right. Yeah, happy game day. Let's go, Raptors. That's right. Game day today. Get ready. Let's go, Raptors. Let's get hyped. We're playing Orlando, and we're going to look at them real quick. Their number one player, this street team, is really Tristan Da Silva. He was their first-round pick last season, the 18th pick in the 2024 draft out of Colorado. He led the team in scoring in the first game against Sacramento in the loss. So we've seen him. He played for the Magic a couple games against us last season, and he seemed like a pretty impressive rookie. Add-on collection to Banchero and Wagner in Orlando. Kind of a similar kind of player to them, too, in some ways. But yeah, he's the main star of this team. And I will say this right now. He's not better than Mattis Buzelis. So that's why I'm kind of gauging on whether this team's better than Chicago or not. And this team's not better than Chicago. This team's probably going to be worse than Chicago. And hell, why not we run them out the court to the tune of a 50-point route? Why not? Point differential does matter in the summer league. The amount that you beat teams by could determine whether you're going to get to the championship game or not. So the Raptors put their best foot forward in routing the hell out of the Chicago Bulls on Friday night by 44 points. So this is really, really good. In some ways, we have the best record on the down low right now, even though we're only 1-0 and some other teams are 2-0, because our point differential is off the charts. And it really is going to help us get to the championship game of this summer league. So, yeah, other names of note that are on this team are, they've got their draft pick from this year, the son of Jason Richardson. He may be the most important next player on here. 25th pick for the Magic out of Michigan State. Jace Richardson, 6'1", point guard, 178 pounds. He'll be interesting to watch. Legacy player, second generation player of Jason Richardson, the great dunk champion of Golden State Warriors. And yeah, it'll be very interesting to see Jace Richardson take to the court, legacy player. Also, there's a couple other players. The second round pick for the Magic this year was Noah Penda, or 2 years ago, or no, wait, he was this year. Noah Penda, who was picked at the 32nd pick by the Celtics and then traded to the Magic. He's out of France. He'll be interesting to see. 6'7", 242 pounds, guard forward. So we'll have to see what he's all about. Former Raptors 905 player is starting center for Orlando Magic. Kyler Kelly will be involved in this game today. He's out of Oregon State. Of course, he went undrafted in the 2020 draft, and he's 27 years old, 7-foot center. So watch out for Kyler Kelly, former 905 player, will be out there. Wendell Moore Jr. was drafted in the first round by the Mavericks in 2022 out of Duke, and he is in the lineup for the Magic, and maybe somebody we need to take note of also. Also, former Raptor Alondis Williams, who was 905 actually, who's played for the Mexico City Capitans and other teams in the past. He is a person of note in this game for the Magic also. So yeah, I'm looking over their roster and I'm like, man, I don't really see a whole lot to be worried about other than De Silva and maybe Jace Richardson. But once again, these guys are all so young and they don't really know what they're doing. We should run these guys off the court. It shouldn't even be close. We should mess them up really, really bad, like much, much worse than we messed up old Chicago Bulls. This team is not as good as Chicago. Chicago had way better talent in certain ways. So this will be fun. With this game, if you guys had fun watching the game on Friday, we should have fun watching the game today. If there's not a Raptors route, something went seriously wrong. Let's just put it that way. If there's not a second route today, there's something seriously went wrong for the Raptors, and I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Even if some of our guys aren't playing right, hopefully Coco Wade will grab these people and give them the hook real quick, and there's enough depth on our summer league team that we can get the right people out there that are kind of playing at the high quality to get the results that we want. It's kind of like this. It's like, okay, maybe Jamal Shed, God forbid this happens, is not playing that well today. Him and Jacoby Walter are just bricking, and they're not doing very well as the starters. Well, we bring in Elijah Martin, Chucky Hepburn, and some other people off the bench and let them try it out, and boom, the things will go better. So the depth and the experience and the connectiveness of the Toronto Raptors Summer League team is a huge, huge advantage. And we're gonna see it again today. Because, I mean, the fact that we had 5 rookies last year, and they're all on our Summer League this year, and they all have a lot of experience playing together, and they're very connected, is a huge, huge plus. This other teams at Summer League are a bunch of people that have just met each other, and the Raptors are not like this. This is why we should win the Summer League championship. We really, really should. Anything less is in some ways not a success in my book. because in some ways we have a very, very talented team, a very connected team, and we need to win this. That's what I'm saying right there. That's right. Trevor's saying the Sky beat the Minnesota Lynx. Angel Reese with a double-double and became the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 40 double-doubles in only 54 games. Wow. That's a big accomplishment. Of course, Angel Reese has only been in the league 2 years now. This is her second year in the league, right? And she's already got that many. It's not like the WNBA season's 82 games either, where there's a lot of chances for her to get double-doubles. So she's been nailing them almost every game she's played so far. That's fantastic. Also, the Aces beat the Golden State Valkyries last night. Yeah, looking at WNBA action, well, first on our fantasy league, it looks like I've got the game in hand against JP. Cool Cat, a very valiant effort, but Trucker Kaz is on a whole other level right now with the way he's playing his WNBA fantasy. I'm really impressed with Kaz, honestly. He's doing fantastic in this fantasy league. Fiercey's going to win against the champ, Meredith, which was a huge feather in her cap. Also, Kareem is going to beat James. And Mike, well, you're losing, Mike. You're losing right now. You might lose to Edmund, and Edmund might get his first win of the year because Logical Raptors fanatics asleep at the wheel. Asleep at the wheel. Our referees for our WNBA action today: Dallas at Indiana, Madge Forsberg with Ryan Sissano and Charles Watson. The Atlanta at New York, Michael Price, Claire Aubrey, and Jeffrey Smith. Connecticut Sun at Los Angeles Sparks. Roy Guibien is the crew chief with Kevin Fahey, Biniam Maru, and Washington Mystics at Seattle Storm. Angelica Suffren, Tony Patillo, and Tyler Merkovich are the refs. That's your ref report for WNBA action today. Yeah, next year when the Tempo are playing, we're going to be doing ref reports on the refs for the Tempo and seeing who is good for the Tempo. That's right. We got to see. Trevor Chase also talking about Summer League action for the NBA. San Antonio beat Dallas. We had the big matchup between top picks, Dylan Harper versus Cooper Flagg last night, and it went really well for San Antonio. Now, Cooper Flagg had a much better game in this game. It's very, very interesting to see, but he had a much better game in this game, but he did take a lot of shots, and he didn't shoot that well still. So it's a very interesting game. Let me just pull up the box score real quick. We'll look at Cooper's stat line. 10 of 21 for Cooper, so he's just under 500. 3 for 9 from 3, 8 of 13 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 2 turnovers, 31 points for Cooper in 31 minutes. That's impressive. 31 in 31 minutes. But they didn't win. They did not win. They lost by 7 to the San Antonio Spurs. And Dylan Harper on the other side, making his debut, 16 points, 5 of 12 shooting. He missed all 4 of his threes, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 2 turnovers for Dylan Harper in that game. Also, yeah, that's fantastic. I love seeing the Spurs beat the Mavericks. I'm always going to pick them. David Jones Garcia has been huge for San Antonio so far this summer league, and the Spurs fans are calling out, why are y'all signing and latching onto this guy, Jones Garcia? Immediately. What are y'all doing waiting on this is what the Spurs fans are saying right now. Yeah, so interesting stuff in this game. Good job by Dylan Harper and the Spurs to beat the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, very, very good. Also, the Bulls are 0-2 at Summer League. Yeah, they got beat again last night. They were playing. Let me see that one. I forgot. They were playing the Kings, and the Kings are 2-0 now in their Summer League, beating the Bulls 109-92. Maxime Renault with 17 points. Devin Carter with 30 points. Legacy player Devin Carter. Nick Clifford with 19. A nice balanced effort by the Kings with 6 players in double digits. Now, on the other side, it was led by our guy, JFL. Javon Freeman Liberty leading the Bulls, 21 points for him. Noah Senge with 12. And it looks like Buzelis did not play in this game. So they sat out Buzelis for this one. So, yeah, Bulls are down 0-2. Bulls Nation is joking around saying, whoever the Raptors cut, we want to come and sign. The Bulls GM after the game was saying, we want a player like Mobo on our team. It's great to be ahead, isn't it? It's great to be ahead. Yeah, it is. All right, let's keep going. Trevor's brought up big news yesterday. This would be a Wow Wednesday if we weren't in the middle of the Summer League and covering these games. But Fred VanVleet has been elected as the new president of the NBA Players Association. Wow. I did not totally see this one coming. In some ways, I'm a little bit blindsided by this news about Fred, but it totally makes sense. He's a great man for the job. And you know what? In some ways, it just makes me so proud of him. Freddie, look what you've done. You're the president of the Players Association for the NBA now, taking over for CJ McCollum. And you know what? They couldn't have a smarter guy do it. We know Fred VanVleet is a very, very high level IQ, very, very just a caring, good dude. And honestly, the great thing about Fred being this representative is he's been a player at every level in this league. He came into this league from the back door and really didn't have anything set or stone for him to have any future in this league. And he carved one out. And that gives him a unique perspective over most of his peers in the NBA because he knows what it feels like to be undrafted. He knows what it feels like to be a fourth string point guard. He knows what it feels like to be a champion. He knows what it feels like to make a huge contract also. So Fred VanVleet runs the gamut of NBA player experience. And in that way, he's the perfect person to represent every single person that works or plays in the NBA like that as a player, because he's representing not just the high level mega paid superstars like himself, but also he can understand it from the people that are coming in and the struggles of trying to make this league also. So fantastic. The players are smart. They've elected a fantastic president in Fred VanVleet to represent them now. Maybe they needed him last round instead of CJ. And maybe this cap shit messing up Gary Trent Jr. and Precious and Chris Boucher wouldn't be happening because Fred would help everybody get their bag. That's right. Fred going to help people get their bag. That's right. I'm so proud of Freddie. Seriously, guys. How can we not be proud of Fred? He is an NBA legend. He is an NBA legend. And in some ways, if you don't understand why Fred VanVleet is so special and such a huge legend, you're crazy if you can't understand what this man is and his life story and his path. You got to open your eyes up and stop being haters on Fred VanVleet because this man is a man of accomplishment and a man of integrity. And I love Fred, man. I'm so proud of Freddie to be the president of the Players Association for the NBA now. He's the president of the players, guys. That's amazing to me. Of course, recently they announced that James Jones will be replacing Joe Dumars at the head of basketball operations for the NBA. Dumars going to work for the New Orleans Pelicans this summer. Well, James Jones, I don't know how well he's been running in Phoenix. So now he's going to be running the NBA refs? I mean, I know he's kind of an NBA insider and a leader around the NBA the last few years or so, GMing and doing stuff for the Phoenix Suns. But has he been that successful running the Phoenix Suns, Adam Silver? So why the hell would you give him this job in the league office? I'm just wondering about that. And I'm mystified by that one. Maybe I just don't know what I don't know. Either way, his track record in Phoenix ain't that good. And also, it's like, well, what's going on in Phoenix now? If James Jones ain't going to be there running it, you know, is he going to have favor for Phoenix? I don't trust James Jones like I trusted Joe Dumars. I trusted Joe Dumars, but I don't necessarily trust James Jones. I really, really don't. He comes from his playing career playing next to LeBron and being a part of some of those Cleveland teams and also just kind of being a Miami Heat guy, right? He was around Miami Heat too. So I don't trust James Jones. I don't like him in the position of being in the head of the refs. No, I don't. I don't like that hire at all. In some ways, I question it for how good he is and what he's doing because he's not been a good GM. I'm just going to say that. He has not been a good GM at all. Yeah, let's keep going. Trevor J's bringing up that Cole Schwider picked up the win for the Lakers. 21 points and 10 rebounds for former Raptor Cole Schwider in action for the Lakers yesterday. It's kind of sad to watch the Lakers right now with Koloko and what's happening. The Lakers do win. Cole Schwider, 8 of 17, 4 of 9 from 3. He's been shooting really, really well from the 3. I'm hoping that Cole will latch on with the Lakers and be full-time with them this year. He deserves it the way he's playing so far. 10 rebounds, 21 points. Yeah, 4 assists and a steal also for Cole. Koloko got the start in this game. He was 5 of 7. He hit a 3. 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. 13 points for Christian. He did get 7 fouls. Him and Derek Queen were having a foul fest on each other. Both of them garnering 7 fouls. In the summer league, you can get as many fouls as possible. You won't foul out. It's kind of crazy. Derek Queen, double-double in the losing effort. 4 of 12 from the field, 12 points with 13 rebounds. Yves Missy, 11 rebounds, 7 points. Yeah, it just New Orleans losing to the Lakers. And no, it's not Bronny James that's doing it for them. 5 of 11 for Bronny, 14 points for him. Darius Baisley, 12 points for him also. But yeah, the Lakers are 1-1, and Cole Schweider's leading the way for them and what they're doing. I feel bad for Koloko, though. It really is like a full regression. And I know the injury regressed him a bit, but man, he has lost so much time on his career, and he is just not getting anywhere. He's in real serious damage. He's in real serious trouble with his career. I'm serious, man. They're in real serious trouble there. James is saying, do you see LeBron getting traded this season? Yeah, I don't know if it's traded. I don't know how it works. I know that this is the thing. It's really crazy. Now that the Lakers have changed ownership, the Buss family is selling their team to the owners of the Dodgers. And that is going to change things a lot. In some ways, maybe the ties to LeBron will go out the window with the Buss family. We know that these ownership changes can take a little bit of time. So the ramifications of the new ownership group of the Lakers is not going to be totally sussed out for a year, maybe more. And we'll just have to see how it all goes down. There is a lot of talk around Laker Nation that they want the LeBron era to end, and they're ready to go right into the Luka era. And that was part of the reason why they got Luka. And in some ways, they don't really care about LeBron playing with Luka. It was fun last year, but they kind of do want to push him out. This really is a lot of noise, sounding like the Lakers are rooted to move on from LeBron James. So who knows? We'll have to see if they're going to trade him. That would be really weird. Why didn't they just straight up trade him for Luka before? Seriously, if you're going to go to all that trouble, you might have been better off keeping Davis and what you traded last year for Luka Doncic. You should have just traded LeBron straight up for Luka. If you're going to lose him and move him out anyway, you would have had more of a semblance of a team in LA if you had kept Anthony Davis and then had Luka there. Yeah, but Rob Pelinka is an idiot. So it's like, well, this was going to happen anyway. Why didn't you just make that tough decision and trade LeBron for Luka? Adam Silver, you would have made something crazy there. Although the effect of LeBron going from the Lakers, would that have been as dramatic as Luka going from Dallas to the Lakers to Dallas fans? I don't know. We'll never know how that would have went down. But in some ways, that should have been the trade if they really wanted to move on from LeBron and move to Luka. Why didn't you just do it in the move? Seriously. Why didn't you just do it in the move? Maybe because LeBron has a no trade clause. Maybe that's probably why. That's probably why right there. That's right. Yeah, they want to focus on building with Luka. James, you're exactly right, man. Cool Cat's here. Good morning, Rapid Freak crew. Game day. Let's go, coach. Yeah, I feel real good. We should be kicking Orlando's ass later on tonight around 6 p.m. Cool Cat's saying, man, Fantasy League is tough this year. My current opponent got me underwater. Kaz is tough. Kaz is the only one who's beaten me too. So yeah, that's a tough team, a very competitive team. There's some very, very competitive teams in our WNBA Fantasy League, and I love it. I love it. We've got like some real contenders to win this year. And, MK, if he's going three-peat, he better get going, is what I'm going to say. He better get going. Kareem Thomas is here. Good to see Kareem Thomas, our dunk champion. People are saying that Ingram's injury is a lot more serious than we think. He told reporters in Vegas that he was just cleared to play. I think people have no critical thinking anymore. Who's saying that? What? You're confusing me. People are saying that Ingram's injury is a lot more serious than we think. Well, it was last year, but it's cleared up. Ingram's own words. He said, before in my life, when I have an ankle twist, it's like 2 or 3 weeks and I'm better. But this one was different. It would not get down. It was swelling too much. And it really hadn't allowed him to play competitive basketball since December of last year. So the swelling is gone. The time with Dr. Alex in the last 6 months has been fantastic. And Brandon is 100% right now. In fact, he was cleared for 5-on-5 scrimmages, and he is doing them now. So Brandon says he feels great. Darko's saying glowing things about his health and things that are going on with him too. And well, it seems like he's ready to go. Let's knock on wood and hope that this man can stay as healthy as possible this whole entire year. So yeah, listen, there was all kinds of talk about how injured Brandon really was. Some people going to say, well, he's just sitting out to get out of New Orleans is why he was like not playing. But we don't know. Seriously, you think people are trying to waste their lives? The thing I know about Brandon Ingram is his mentality. And the reason why he got hurt like this is because he's an overworker, y'all. Seriously, this is the truth. He's a gym rat. And in Brandon Ingram's life, he's been told you need to stay out of the gym because you're in the gym too much. So in some ways, what happened with his ankle this last year is an accumulation of him overworking himself for a long time. And it just caught up with him. So in some ways, him sitting out most of this last year is a blessing in disguise because he's been overworking his body his whole entire career. Because he's like that. Seriously, he's a gym rat. This man will not get out of the gym. He loves being in the basketball gym and shooting shots and just being in there. I did a whole profile look over him. And that was one of the things I found out about him is that he's like that. So this has been kind of a blessing in disguise that he's had to slow down and completely stop basketball activities for this last year for a period of time because he really did overwork himself for a long, long time up until then. So his body is caught up and healed, and it's in a good place right now. And let's go forward. And I would say this. He's going to be managed health-wise better than he ever has in his career on the Toronto Raptors with the sports scientist, Vice President Dr. Alex McKechnie, monitoring what he's doing. So think about what we did with Kawhi in the championship year and how we managed him. Well, it's the same stuff with Brandon. We're going to make sure we manage him correctly, and his health's going to be optimal for this season. So, yeah, that's the whole reason why this happened. Maybe there was a little bit of sitting out a little bit extra just to, encourage the Pelicans to move him along. And maybe there was a little weird that he didn't play at all at the end of the season last year, but it was overly precautious. And in some ways, the Raptors had nothing to gain rushing Brandon Ingram in for 5 games at the end of last season. That may have been way more risky and way more problematic than helpful to helping the team. So I fully stand by them letting him sit for the whole of the end of last year because why rush him? There's nothing to play for last season, but there's a lot to play for this year. That's right. And the playoffs are what Brandon's aiming for. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Kareem saying reason why he said that he was because the Raptors shelved him last season to get proper rest. If they cleared him last season and tried to sit him, the team would get phoned like Laurie Markkinen would get phoned. I mean, it's true. It's like there was nothing to gain from trying to play Ingram last year. And that's the thing. We got the delay on what we're getting from him. The delay's going to hit so nice, Raptors fans. Seriously. Good things happen to those who wait. If you have patience, if you're able to let things develop, let things heal, let things go through their natural processes to get to their natural outcome, you will be very, very happy with what happens in the end. And this case, Brandon, us being patient with him, it's going to pay off really big when we see him on the court playing in a Raptors jersey and doing the things at the level he can do. Raptors fans are going to shut up on a lot of negativity and they'll be like, holy crap, I feel good. I feel like when Kawhi was on our team, seriously. Because in some ways, we want a confidence in our team. In some ways, some people want that confidence from Siakam in the past. Some people want that confidence from Fred VanVleet, president of the NBA Players Association. Some people want that confidence from Scotty Barnes in certain ways. But when Brandon Ingram comes in and plays in certain ways on the offensive end, it's going to instill some confidence in our team. Trust me. It's going to instill some confidence, not just with our other players, but with our fan nation. As far as like, holy shit, yeah, this guy is good. And honestly, I could see we're going to start saying we could win the championship by Christmas, guys. There's going to be Raptors fans that are going to see things on the court in the first half of the season, and they're going to say, you know what? I feel like we could win the way Brandon is. I'm serious. I'm saying this right now in July. And you know that I can forecast the future and look into things and see that, well, this adds up with this on paper. And in reality, this seems like this could be true. And I'm saying this, like that Raptors fans could feel so good. We have to see the schedule first. We'll see what the schedule looks like and see how rocky it is. But, I'm telling you, by Christmas, people may be seriously saying, you know what, the Raptors are fun and they're doing certain things in a certain way. We could actually be a dark horse championship contender. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're always going to be a little bit up above what the general consensus of NBA world thinks of what we can do because they're always sullying us. But, instead of saying like right now, I think we can make the playoffs like Brandon said, we may be changing our tune halfway through the season considering how successful we are. And saying, you know what? Why the fuck not? Why don't we go get that? The second Larry O'Brien. Seriously. It may not be realistic, It may be pie in the sky, but that's the way we need to do it. Aim high. Aim high right there. That's right. Cool Cat saying one of my favorites, Angel Reese, shows improvement in her second year. She's playing the point guard role she did in Maryland. The coach is adjusting to new schemes over time. Yeah, that's cool stuff. Yeah, I Angel Reese is such a lightning rod in the WNBA. Those kind of players are good to have. Players that you love to hate and players that you love to have on your team in some ways. Now, she had a rocky start this season. It didn't seem like she was playing like a team player, but it does seem like the Chicago Sky have got their stuff figured out a little bit better and more as more of the season goes on. And that's fantastic. Yeah, her individual achievements are fantastic, but she can't be making individual achievements to the detriment of the team achievements. And that may be the thing you got to worry about with Angel Reese, because in some ways she was playing selfishly at the beginning of the season and not looking out to try and help the Chicago Sky win. And that's a no-no in my book. You got to be a team player, and it can't be too selfish. That's right. That's right. Excuse me. Cool Cat saying congrats to NBA champion Fred VanVleet as president of the MBPA. Hopefully he can bring a better contract for the players. McCollum stripped the middle class, pay for NBA players. Yeah, McCollum getting blamed in public by Draymond Green. Draymond Green just blasting CJ McCollum for the issues that some of the players in the league are dealing with contracts. You know, people like Gary Trent Jr., who want to get a $15 million contract, but no teams can afford him at his level to play in that. So they're paying him $2-3 million a year. It's just how it is. The middle class of the NBA is gone, and you're either like a lowly new player or that's on rookie contracts and lower pay anyway, or you really got to ascend to get that big money. And the percentage of players in the NBA that can actually go get that big money, well, it's not huge. It's not huge. There's only a certain amount of good max contracts on each team, and then the rest of it is just filtered into little fractals for the rest of the salary cap, and you're just lucky if you get your little fractal. Yeah, I feel bad for Chris Boucher. I don't like sitting like this. In some ways, the way it feels like with Chris is like being at the draft and sitting there waiting for your name to be drafted. Because like nobody wants to feel like this, that like nobody wants you right now. Precious. Nobody is asking you to come and get on their team yet. You're like going to be a last minute ad at the end. That's not nice. In some ways, it's messed up. And the further we get into July and Chris Boucher and Precious Achiuwa don't have teams, the more I'm like, man, this is such a crazy NBA world at this time, because these guys are valuable NBA players and they could do good things for people. But in some ways, they're like an add-on right at the end of the free agency, right before the season starts, to latch onto a team at the last second. That's messed up. That's messed up. I don't want to see David Roddy sitting next to Scotty Barnes at the Summer League. I want to see Chris Boucher sitting next to Scotty Barnes at the Summer League. If somebody is going to be added all of a sudden, like David Roddy, who's not on the Summer League roster, but he's practicing with the Raptors right now. That man's not going to be on the Raptors this year. He'll be in training camp, but he's not going to make the Raptors. I'd rather have Chris in that spot because he earned it, and he's our champion that's still on the team. So it's kind of messed up thing, man. It's kind of messed up. James is saying Berenguer had 7 blocks last game. This dude is really good, man. I wish I had pushed harder to get Jean Berenguer on this team. 2 games in Summer League for Jean so far, and he's averaging like 6 blocks a game, which is fantastic. Last night, well, he only had 1 last night. 2 for 3 for Jean, 7 points, plus 15, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, though. Yeah, the Timberwolves winning behind a strong effort from Terrence Shannon Jr. with 24 points for him, 15 points for Rob Dillingham. And we did see Leonard Miller take the court in this game. Also, rookie Rocco Zerkowski was out there, the big, huge Australian, beating the Denver Nuggets, who we'll see in Summer League later on this week. They're now 0-2. So the teams we're going to play later on are all losses. None of the teams we're playing have won yet. The Bulls are 0-2. The Magic are 0-1 right now. The Warriors are 0-1. And also the Nuggets are 0-2. So all these teams that we're playing have been losing teams in the Summer League. We need to beat all 4 of them and get our 5th game as the championship game on next Sunday. The championship game for Summer League will be played a week from today. And let's hope and pray that the Raptors are one of the 2 teams playing in that game. That's right. Fiercey's here. Good to see MJ. Good morning, fam, and happy Sunday. Game 2 today. Let's take care of the Magic. That's right. I feel good about it. I feel real good about it. I mean, they don't have a whole glut of rookies from last year like we do. And those guys are sensational. And the vibes are immaculate around the Raptors. There's so much happiness. These guys are joyful. You know, it was very much a huge victory on Friday night. Some Raptors fans are saying, I haven't been this happy in so long watching a Raptors game. Yeah, I know it's summer league. In some ways, we shouldn't get too crazy excited. But it is nice to have winning vibes, winning aura, winning route, winning a little man dunking on big man's head. You know, these kind of things are fun. So let's embrace them and enjoy the good times. Yeah, because we've had bad times too. And the good and the bad in life, you know, you got to go with it and kind of make the best of the good and, you know, weather the storm through the bad. And I feel like, you know, this summer league is a very positive, good time for things. Let's go check in on the Instagram stories real quick. And I'll tell you about what's going on with these Raptors. First, we got Mamu. He's got a nice picture of him and his high school teammate from Montverde, RJ Barrett. And yeah, that's a really cool connection. You know, Mamu also let it reveal that he's friends with AJ Lawson also, that he's known AJ from the past too. So he has a couple of good friends already in the two Canadians, RJ and AJ, on the Raptors. And Sandro's really excited to be on the Raptors. In an interview with Josh Lewenberg, he's talking about how he's always respected and loved the culture and the diversity of Toronto and the city and everything. And he's also very much had a respect for the way that the franchise has been run and the quality and the professionalism of the city and I mean the team. So it's like, yeah, Sandro's really, really happy. In fact, it sounds like the Raptors were a team that he was like, I would always aspire to be a Raptor somehow, some way. If I can get there at some point, I will. And he did. He got there this year. So we're very happy to have a stretch five and Sandro Mamu. And as far as like the things that he can bring for our team this year, I'm very curious to see what it's going to be. His X factor, as far as his energy, his get after it, and his fieriness, guys. Honestly, let's be honest here. That man plays with a passion, and he can play with a lot of heart and spirit, and it's contagious. Let's just put it that way. It can be contagious. Scotty Barnes was out on the town in Vegas, and you know he went somewhere I told him about a while ago on his Twitch stream. I told Scotty about the Sphere, the brand new building that James Dolan, the idiot that runs the Knicks, built in Las Vegas, the Sphere. The crazy venue of concert where they have a huge dome and it's all screens and you can do all kinds of visual amazing things. Well, Scotty was at the Sphere last night at a concert. And well, who was he seeing? Backstreet's back. All right. Yeah, he was at Backstreet Boys at the Sphere last night. Scotty Barnes tripping out on the visuals and the whole display of the facility. And going crazy. You know, I have a funny story about Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys, I've seen them a couple times, actually. Not that I wanted to. It's just that I used to work at the Air Canada Center as food and beverage. And, you know, Backstreet Boys would play our arena. And, well, you know, when the Backstreet Boys played and I saw them in Toronto at the Scotiabank Arena / Air Canada Center at that time, I saw them play at the Air Canada Center on September the 12th. 2001. Yeah, think about that. Think about that. I saw the Backstreet Boys play 3 shows in a row. September 12th, 2001. What day was that? That was the day after September 11th. And well, it was kind of crazy. It was a weird concert. There was a lot of sadness. There was a lot of, the world was reeling from the 9/11 World Trade Center disaster. And it was weird because they weren't even sure if they were going to do this Backstreet Boys concert at Air Canada Center. But they did, and they called us in, and the energy was so bad in the building. Everybody was in a weird, like, aftermath. And the crazy thing was, you know, the crowd was a lot of little girls and their dads and moms coming to the Backstreet Boys. And, you know, people were crying. It was really weird. It was a very, very strange scene. And then the Backstreet Boys started the concert, and they showed on the screen the planet on fire. And I was like, oh, look, this isn't really good. I know they produced this show months before September 11th happened yesterday, but it doesn't look good. And like the world was on fire. And then the stage for the Backstreet Boys, that tour, was a plane, like a wings. And it was in such bad taste the day after September 11th to be at that Backstreet Boys concert and see like the world blowing up and them dancing around on plane wings. Yeah, it really was like, what the fuck? So that's one of the things I always remember about September 11th and that week is that I had to work 3 Backstreet Boys concerts that week, and their stage was a plane, and the world blew up on their stage show. It was crazy, man. But anyway, Scotty enjoying the Sphere and Backstreet Boys getting all the hits and enjoying the visuals. I'm just going to say that, enjoying the visuals. RJ Barrett has posted the picture of him and Sandro Mamo also up on his Instagram. Exactly. There's Zach Edey posting a picture with him and Pippen Jr. At their summer league game. Zach Edey is all about business. Hopefully you don't have any more tickets, Zach, right now. We don't want no more tickets. Eric Smith put on blast Fred VanVleet, new president of the Players Association. We got Mariah Amber wearing a Raptors jersey and is going to sit down. And Mo Pete is putting on blast the Ford fan pass. I guess Mo Pete might be involved in that to a degree. There's Strizzy talking about it. There's Elijah Martin's dunk when Jay Nathan putting it on blast on his Instagram, Jonathan Mobo. Yeah, Jonathan looked really good in the first game. Let's build on that today, J-Mo. I know you'll look good. Kyle Lowry out on the links again. I guess it was a celebrity golf weekend. He was with Zach LaVine and Austin Reeves yesterday, but he's with a couple of other sports stars yesterday on his golf trek. He was seen out there with Albert Pujols of St. Louis Cardinals fame, and also former Blue Jay pitcher David Wells. So Kyle Lowry in a threesome on the celebrity golf circuit yesterday with a Toronto legend, David Wells, along with our guy Albert Pujols, one of the greatest home run hitters in MLB history. So that's who Kyle Lowry's rubbing shoulders with on the links yesterday. Kyle Lowry 20th season going in. That's right. Cool stuff there. Let's see who else we got on the Instagram. Let's see. Raptors admin is putting on blast the friends and family sale, 50% off on Raptors gear in different places at the Real Sports and all kinds of different places. Y'all go act fast and get your Raptors gear at 50% off. Friends and family discount in effect right now. They did this weird thing with the Raptors at the Wynn Casino Ballroom in their practice facility. They put a little box and tape on the ground, and they had the Raptors move their feet and close their eyes and see if they could keep in one place and not fall out of the box. It looks like Quincy did the worst, but a lot of the other guys did pretty good. I think some of them were cheating, though, and kind of looking at the ground when they were kind of doing it. So I don't know if it was actually a sterile competition. Let's see. Luguetz Dort has got a picture of him and Benedict Mathurin on there. And then also he's celebrating the birthday of his friend, SGA, yesterday. Tuesday, my brother from For Life. Happy birthday, gang, is what he's saying there. There's Manuel quickly is filming a street magician in Las Vegas who's doing a trick for Garrett Temple on his thing. And honestly, I don't know how this guy does it, but he's got like a floating card that's fluttering around him like a butterfly. And it's so crazy and trippy looking. And like, yeah, this kind of stuff happens in Vegas, right? They're going to be like street magicians pulling off crazy David Blaine shit while you're waiting in line to get the lobster at the casino or something like that. But yeah, they're Garrett Temple's taking in the tricks of the trade of this magician, and Emmanuel's filming it. Pascal has arrived at Las Vegas to take part in Summer League and watch his Pacers play there. So Siakam is in Las Vegas at the Summer League now, supporting the young Pacers Summer League team. There you go. Toronto Tempo is putting on blast some guys. They had the Jeremy Lin charity game once again. Jeremy Lin, Simelu, Baron Davis involved in this game. And well, Jeremy Lin was walking around in Toronto Tempo shirt, put on blast the WNBA team for Toronto. That's fantastic stuff. We'd love to see that. But yeah, that game's always fun to watch. Is the charity game that Jeremy Lin and Simelu do every summer. Is really, really awesome and really good causes and stuff like that. So good to see that was going down. Jamal Shedd's got some pictures of action from the Summer League. Shedd's so interesting. They did an interview with Shedd. Lewinberg did. And Sheddy's saying that, I've heard the Bench Mob 2.0 comparisons and what y'all are saying, and I've studied them, and I want to be like them. I feel like it's a huge compliment that you guys think that we could be the second version of the Bench Mob. And I look at what the Bench Mob originally did, the first one, and I'm like, yeah, I want to be like them. I want to get all of us in this class right here forward into bigger contracts like Fred, Norman, Pascal, and Jakob and all them. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I mean, in some ways, Jamal has a reference on the team because Jakob Poeltl was Bench Mob, and he's still on the team. So he could teach them about, yeah, this is what Fred and I used to do when we were a Bench Mob and stuff like that. I love that Shedd is embracing and honoring the legacy of the Raptors history with the bench mob, the original bench mob, and absolutely saying, I want to be bench mob 2.0. I don't care if you call me copycat, because they laid the blueprint for success for people like me. And I would love to follow in the footsteps of Fred VanVleet. Don't trust me. I see that man makes $40 million a year. And I would love to follow in his footsteps. That's what Shetty's saying right now. Yeah, he's smart for that. Let's get this 2.0 bench mob going this year, Jamal Shed. That's right, in your role as the backup point guard, quarterback off the bench. Ulrich Chomche with a beautiful picture of him at Summer League. Chomche, man, you keep going, man. You're a badass. And I love that you're more and more comfortable and happy in the NBA right now. There's Wubbs with his picture, Jacoby Walter from the Summer League. Love to see it. Love to see it, all of it. That's right. Let's see. Toronto Tempo president Teresa Resch has got Indianapolis has brought out the fun street signs for the WNBA All-Star Game like they did for the Eras Tour. And I love it. India is such a cool city with a great vibe. Keep it up. Indianapolis has had a lot of fun this year with the Pacers in the final. And now they're going to get to host the WNBA All-Star Game. So, yeah, they're doing it right this year with how much that city turns out for the NBA and the WNBA. It's coming right now. AJ Lawson on his Instagram stories with a black and white picture of him in the 0. Yeah, let's go, AJ. You got another game today. There's a Jamison battle in the 77 in the Summer League roster. That's right. Let's go, Jamison. It's game time, baby. Jamal McGlure, all about the Revelers and Carnival coming up next month. And everybody get ready. Junior Carnival Parade. They need a king and a queen for Junior Calypso Showcase. And it looks like McGlure was at the Scarborough Shooting Stars game yesterday, getting a jersey presented to somebody. And, yeah, of course, he's involved in the front office for the Shooting Stars and the CBL. And Jamal is there in center court at the game yesterday. He was giving a jersey to somebody. I'm not even sure who the guy was that he gave the jersey to. But, yeah, cool stuff. Always good to support CBL, y'all. If CBL is in your city across Canada, check out the Canadian Elite Basketball League. Always got good stuff going on there. It's very, very, very good stuff. Let's see what else we got. That's about it, guys. That's the Instagram stories for today. Scotty at Backstreet Boys at the Sphere last night. Backstreet's back. All right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right, let's see. Kareem saying Fred VanVleet is a real one. And then you get the other ones who just want to be dicks, and it just kind of fucks the game up. Nobody's coming to see that shit. They want to see the players. This is an interesting thing I read yesterday. Ricky Rubio speaking about his experience in the NBA recently about how fake it is. Part of the reason why Ricky Rubio wanted to leave the NBA and retire from it is he's sick of the people in it. He's saying that it's all a show and it's just business. And people don't play for the right reasons in the NBA. In some ways, I guess basketball is a sacred thing to Ricky Rubio. Then in some ways, he looks at it as life. And in certain ways, some people don't respect that. They look at it as business. And, you know, some of the things he was saying is like, I didn't like being in the NBA because I'd sit in the locker room and everybody's judging each other on what they bought. Like, so what if I didn't buy a super fancy car like all the rest of y'all? Seriously. So he didn't want to play this game where it's like one-upmanship about clothing and cars and all kinds of other things. And he's just like, man, let's just play ball. And, you know, he also said that he didn't like how some of his old teammates that he used to play with in the NBA talked to servers and people in public. He said that some of the people that he played with were despicable with how they talked down to ordinary people. And he didn't respect that. So he's like, it's really weird, the stuff that Ricky Rubio has come out with just recently in the last couple of days about the NBA world and how fake it is and how much it's just about business. And how he didn't really feel as an authentic person himself that he fit in there. The part of his depression that he was having near the end there was fed by this whole problem. And in some ways, it sounds like since he went back to Europe, he's way more happier. And he's playing over there since he retired from the NBA. That was an interesting, like, expose kind of comments about things. I'm sure there's a lot of really good guys in the NBA that are not like this at all. There may be some bad apples. Who knows? Ricky Rubio was teammates with Tristan Thompson, right? Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Lex. Yeah, you get that burn on Tristan somehow, some way. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Kareem saying Fred VanVleet just added another 30 minutes to his Bet on Yourself documentary. All right, you want to dunk? You're funny, man. You're funny. That's good. That's a good one. In some ways, you're probably right. I mean, listen, they need to make it a good run time. So it's going to be 90 to half an hour. So I don't see it. It'll probably be 90 minutes, honestly. But yeah, this is an important new chapter to Fred VanVleet's life, that he is now the president of the players. And we love him for it. 162 for you, Kareem Thomas, for your little joke. Yeah. Let's see. Isaac Campbell is here. And you guys, I want to say something right now. Happy birthday to the benevolent one, Isaac Campbell. Guys, it is our guy's birthday today. We love you, Isaac. You're a true blue, totally through and through Raptors fan and basketball savant and basketball bohemian. You're a man that I respect in so many ways. A man as a family man, as a political mind, and what you stand for. I'm with you. I stand side by side with you every day, Isaac, on what you stand for and what you believe in. And I appreciate you. I appreciate your patronage of my channel. I appreciate your efforts in coming to Toronto and hanging out. And I just appreciate you as an example for being a great human being. Thank you, Isaac Campbell. I love you, man. Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday to Isaac. That's what I got to say right here, guys. Isaac saying, I wore my City Edition Fred VanVleet at Blues Fest yesterday to see Budo's band, Pixies, Kurt Vile, and Turnstile. Man, that's quite the lineup, man. You know, Isaac, the first band I ever see live in my entire life was the Pixies. I had never seen a concert in my life, and the Pixies were the first band that I got to see, man. And, you know, it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But, yeah, I like Kurt Vile. He's a weird one. Budo's band is jamming. Always got a good jam with the Budo's band. And Turnstile, one of the more recent, newer bands that I've kind of gotten into and discovered in the last 5 years or so. And yeah, that's a great lineup, man. So you're wearing the Freddie City Edition. You had no idea that man was about to be Mr. President. That's right. There you go. Happy birthday to Isaac, y'all. You guys flood that W's in the chat for Isaac Campbell. And you better give him birthday wishes, y'all, right now. That's what I'm saying. Right now, you better give Isaac some birthday wishes. That's what I'm saying. That's right. Fiercely saying there is tension on the Lakers side, and I'm loving it. Okay, McDonald's. They didn't offer him an extension. He was already pissed. They advised Luka about Ayton joining them, and he welcomed him via text. LeBron was not aware, so no contact to Ayton. I sense team chemistry issues coming. Oh, that's going to happen no matter what. Team chemistry issues for the Lakers? Yeah. Isn't that just like the sky is blue? That's just kind of how it is. The grass is green and the sky is blue, and the Lakers have toxic problems. And that's just how it is. I mean, this is crazy. If this is all true, what you're saying, they let Luka in the loop and LeBron was looped out. Oh, that's no good. That's no good. That's not right. That's not right. I can see where LeBron may be trying to figure out what's going on, calling Rich Paul and saying, what can we do, Rich? What can we do? What can we do? That's right. Let's see. Kaz is saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Free Crew. Good morning to you, Trucker Kaz. You are a juggernaut in the WNBA fantasy. You are recognized and respected, sir. I'm just going to say that. Stargate saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Good morning to you, Stargate, my good friend Stargate. Lakers are a shit show. Oh, yeah, I love it. LeBron's going to Dallas is not good for a young player like Cooper. So Cooper is as good as gone to the Celtics, maybe sooner than later. This would be crazy. What if this is some sort of weird reverse dominoes? And the Mavericks and Nico Harrison, they're trying to do some goofy shit. And they really kind of like shuffled up things all kinds of crazy with their crazy ass trade of Luka Doncic last year. All right, the first domino is Luka goes to the Lakers. And then the Dallas Mavericks are serendipitously handed the first pick in the draft to get Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg's on the team, but LeBron is dislodged from the Lakers because of Luka. So the pendulum swings back into Dallas. And all of a sudden, LeBron's like, yeah, I like playing with Kyrie. Yeah, I like playing with AD. These guys, I know them, and I've won with them, and I want to win with them again. Oh, wait, Cooper's here? Wait, whoa. What do you want, Dallas? Nuka will be like, you know what? We just got the number one player, Cooper Flagg, but who cares? It's LeBron. I love him, and you're out of here. And boom, all of a sudden, what Stargate's saying happens. Boston Celtics claiming Flagg, capturing him at some point after that. I mean, I don't want to look at the tea leaves like this, but I could see this scenario playing out exactly like this over the next couple of years if things aren't exactly smart. Some people say, no way Dallas lets Cooper Flagg go. You'd be shocked at what you could see happen. I mean, you probably say they'd never leave Luka go, right? They'd never let Luka go. Dallas would never let Luka go. Never, ever let Luka go. Okay, all right. Well, we saw what happened last year. That's right. We saw what happened last year. That's right. Trevor's saying Dr. Alex is like a genie in the bottle. He just blinks your problems away. He's like Barbara Eden. Wink. Oh, Master. Yeah, I see that your ankle is hurting. Wink. He's like the anti-OG-itis. It's like Dr. Alex is the cure for OG-itis. That's what it is right there. That's right. Yeah, Dr. Alex is fantastic. Of course, his presence around the team is quality. And yeah, Rogers, Pelly, y'all stay away from Dr. Alex. That man is good money earned, right? He's very, very helpful to our team. That's right. James is saying, can we surprise teams like the Pacers did last year? Oh, of course. Of course. Why not? Why not? I mean, I think deceivingly, we have experience on our team that people don't realize. They may say, yeah, we're a young core and we're kind of like not really savvy, but let's not get it twisted. You know, Scotty has very limited playoff experience. He did get the playoffs his rookie year. He did get a play-in game. So that's about it. And then you got, RJ and Emmanuel got some experience in New York with big time games and different stuff like that. So people may be shocked and surprised just that we're not like, a certain place in our young development. We have people that have experience. Jakob Pertl has a lot of experience. He's been in a lot of different situations in his long career already. Brandon Ingram has a lot of history to his career that people forget about, and that he has a lot of experience in certain ways. So it's not, we make the playoffs this year, which we will. I believe in Brandon. I don't think he's a liar. We have more experience, playoff experience, than people actually think. It's deceiving. It's deceiving, even though we're a young crew. Now, of course, all the young guys don't. Grady, the rookies from last year. But there are guys on our team and our starters that do have playoff experience, and they do kind of understand the intensity of the playoffs when we get there. You know, Sandro's another guy added to the list. It has some interesting playoff experience in his early career already. So that's what I'm thinking right there. That's right. Stargate saying, fact is, none of us are doctors. Even one or two of us may be doctors. I'm not sure orthopedic. You don't know if we're doctors or not, Stargate. How the hell do you know? I'm a doctor of philosophy. How you say that? Well, I'm just kidding. And if we do have orthopedic doctors in the RFF, none of you have examined BI3 for giving diagnosis. Now, I'm going to say this right now. Kareem Thomas has a background in this. He does. Kareem Thomas does have a background in this arena, from what I remember. And there are people around our channel that do have medical backgrounds. So, yeah, you'd be shocked. You'd be shocked. The whole thing with Brandon is like, look, we can act like they're lying to us, or we could just take it at face value for what they're telling us. Brandon couldn't play. His ankle wasn't good enough to play. We didn't want to play him. Okay, that's it. That's all we need to know. Why do you want to speculate on it, people? You want to say, oh, he wasn't really hurt. Oh, he was doing this. Who cares? It's just what it is. He was hurt before. He's not anymore. And that's what matters right now. That's right. That's right. We aren't doctors. Maybe we are. Maybe I am a doctor of philosophy. That's right. Wayne saying, morning, Raptor Freaks. I am going to enjoy Summer League basketball and just totally zone out of all the cloud GMs. Yes. Are we really debating? Hang on. It jumped ahead. Let me find Wayne's first comment. Oh, man. Why did it jump right in the middle of the comment? I hate that. Are we really debating about Brandon playing or not playing last year? Miss me, please. I mean, I don't even know. That's hindsight. That's 2020. We don't need to look at it now. The time has passed. We're in the present. That's what I say to Raptors Nation. Get in the present. Stop fucking going too ahead. Stop looking too back. And stay right now. Orlando Magic today. Summer League 2. Let's play them and kick their ass. Stay present. Enjoy Elijah Martin. How about that? That's what your assignment is, Raptors Nation. Don't get in a tizzy. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. Brandon said he got us. So just enjoy the games like Wayne is saying he's going to right here. Let's get into the game. Let's watch the youngsters play, and let's revel in their defensive energy that's swarming and just amazing to watch. That's what we need to do. That's your assignment, Raptors Nation. Watch the Raptors play amazing defense and run the ball back and dunk it a bunch. All right? That's all you have to do today. It's real easy. You don't need to worry about RJ and trade rumors. You don't need to speculate this or that. Just put it all down, Cloud GMs, and go ahead and just take the lead of Wayne Strainer and sit and watch the game today and be a fan and just watch it for pure entertainment of watching the game. That's what we're asking. Y'all trying to get in other job titles and other things you're trying to do. You're not any of those things. You're a fan. You are a fan.
So just watch the fucking game like a fan would. You're not the GM. You're not the coach. You're not Dr. Alex. You're not Dr. Alex. That's right. That's right. Sergey's saying, so we should not speculate on his medical condition. Well, we can speculate. It's a free country, but it doesn't mean any of us are anywhere near the truth or right. That's what we should say. That's right. Kareem saying, all I'm saying is that the Raptors made the right decision to shelve him last year. I agree with this. I totally agree with this. There was nothing to gain from playing him last year. We could have played him last year, but we did it. There's nothing to gain from that. In some ways, the anticipation is building, and it's even crazier. And in some ways, when he does show up and he's a badass, it's going to feel all the sweeter, Raptors Nation. Trust me. When Ingram shows up healthy and he shows who he is, once again, you guys are going to feel the good vibes and the happiness. And like I said, you patient, good things will come to you. You are patient, good things will come to you. That's right. Fiercely saying some dude did a recap of Summer League surprises and fails yesterday, but no mention of the Raptors beating the Bulls by 44. I commented, we always get hate, but we will earn our respect. They can overlook us. They don't have to look at what we're doing. These are haters. In some ways, they don't think we exist. You know, they might as well be 29 teams in this league, the way that some people in the media treat the Toronto Raptors. Well, that's our element of surprise. That is our submarine lifestyle. We live underwater, out of sight, out of mind. But boy, do we pop up. And we're up on the surface level. Then they see us, and it's too late. So let them sleep. Let them lay in the bed and have the snooze alarm not go off. Let them sleep through the assignment. When the Raptors show up and mess them up, steal the ball from them and run it back and jam it on their heads like Elijah Martin does, then it'll be too late. And they'll realize they underestimated their opponent. They took them lightly, and they deserve to lose for doing that. And that's what will happen. That's what will happen. This is a perennial thing with the Raptors team. They're always subjugated to oversight and not really taken seriously. And then we fucking come in and everybody's surprised. And they say, oh, the Raptors are so much better than we thought they were. You dumbasses. We've been good. You just don't want to fucking pay attention to it. You just want to not see that reality is what it is. Is what it is right there. Every year. Same kind of thing. Every year. We know they're going to do this. Now, this is egregious, though. Some dude did a recap of Summer League, and he didn't put the biggest route of Summer League so far on the list. Yeah, that's a hater. That is a hater. That guy specifically has a huge blind spot, and he hates the Raptors. We must have hurt him at some time. We must have hurt the poor man. If he really doesn't want to talk about the Raptors so bad, we must have hurt his feelings at some point. Did our team beat your team, bro? Is that why you don't want to put us in the highlights, my guy? Is this why? We hurt you? We hurt you inside? Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. I can understand why you want to ignore your pain because the Raptors whooped your team's ass. That's what it is right there. I'm telling you, that's what it is. Injuries begets injuries is what G is saying. Raptors know exactly what they're doing. He sounds very confident. I love it. This man's bought in. This man is a swagger. This man understands. This man can analyze from the inside as a high-level NBA player, the assessment of talent. And his calculations are coming out to the conclusion that playoffs. Yeah, we're going. We're going. And I love how he said it. In some ways, if coming from Brandon Ingram, it means a lot because casual fans will be like, oh, shit, Brandon says he thinks we're going to the playoffs. Man, I like this. You know, in some ways, it's a big deal that he did this because it's not only just with Raptors Nation, it's with the bona fide NBA press. It's like they can put that on ESPN like they did. They said Brandon Ingram said the Raptors making the playoffs, and all of a sudden it's a headline on ESPN because in some ways Brandon Ingram is news to the American sports media. And well, he's going to put us on blast and call us out saying we're going to go to the playoffs this year. The heads might be turning because they hear it's from his voice. That's what I'm saying. The heads might be turning and listening because they hear it from his voice. That's right. Kareem saying, serious question. Okay. I'm glad you prefaced that with this. Because half the time I know you're not serious, and I love it. That's right. Can we give Garrett Temple some kind of alternate role? Our bench is too deep with some young talent. I don't want to see someone get cut. You know, this is actually a very serious, interesting question. I mean, I don't know. In some ways, that roster spot is Garrett's, and in some ways, we've already committed it to him. It's like we can't go back on it. But I get what you're saying. In some ways, these roster spots are valuable. And like if he's sitting in one of them, that could have been Chris's spot, maybe, is what you're saying. We're just going to have to see how the dust settles. What shall be, shall be. If Chris Boucher is not going to be on Raptors this year, which it very much looks to be the case, well, we're going to just honor and love him and cherish him forever as a Raptor legend, a Raptor champion, one of the greatest Raptors bench players in the history of the Raptors. There's so many accolades and so much love for Trebuchet that we can't go wrong with this. But I agree with you. In some ways, it's like, look, I get it. Garrett's really good for stability and leadership and a reference person as a longtime NBA head. But also at the same time, when does it get to the point where these roster slots are more valuable to be put in these kind of ways and used in this kind of way? I totally get what you're saying, man. I totally get what you're saying. I don't know. I'm just going to trust Bobby, trust Masai and Spirit, and just go for it. And, Garrett being on the team is important. It's obvious that he is a very important person to Darko, and that is part of it right there. Cool Cat saying fans need to give grace to player development. Ingram went through his growing pains on the Lakers and Pelicans. We went through the growing pains of Fred, Siakam, and now successful leaders on new teams. Yeah, I don't know where Brandon Ingram might have been if he hadn't played on those two teams already in his career. Like, what could have been with Brandon if he had been in better situations in a couple ways? Because both the situations he was in already in his career were not good situations for him and his success and his growth and his establishing more and more as an NBA power. But this situation in Toronto is probably the best one he's been in out of the three. And he needs to take that opportunity and run with it and really, really show that, especially now that he's healthy. And, man, I'm all about it, man. I am all about it. And this is a good point. The Lakers, they always did weird shuffling around, especially in the LeBron era. And Brandon Ingram was a victim of that. And in some ways, he got traded for AD and went to New Orleans. And he's been just spoiling away in New Orleans for a long time now, and New Orleans isn't going nowhere. So in some ways, he's finally somewhere. He's motivated. He can see goals ahead of him. He can see a competent organization he's working in now, and he can see the future a lot more clearly. And that's what he was professing in that interview yesterday. He sees the future, and it's the playoffs, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Stargate saying fiercely, the fact that you referred to the individual as some guy. Some guy tells me all I need to know about his perspective. You should even have wasted a comment on him. He's irrelevant. Yeah. I like that she's standing up though, and like coming in there and saying, yeah, you oversight is going to come and bite you in the ass. You're going to do an overview on the summer league, and you're not even going to cover the eventual summer league champion. Oh, that's a big oversight right there. His content's not going to age well. Let's just put it that way. So the guy who has content that has not aged well for 4 years. Some of it has, but some of it hasn't. But a lot of it has. I should say that. James is saying Shed, Jacoby, Grady, Oshai, Battle, Colin, Mamu. Do we have the best bench in the league? Well, we're partial to it. And we're a little bit not the fairest judge because we are kind of tainted and kind of like biased. So, but I feel really good about our bench. There's been years in Scotty's era that have been really kind of bad benches. We can think about our team in Tampa, how bad it was with no bench help. There's been worse eras in the Raptors history with bench, and this is not it. We've got a fantastic bench right now, and it does look a lot like 2016 right now, 2017. Yeah, Stargate saying Sandro will love it here. There's a huge Georgian community in the GTA, especially here in Brampton. That's the thing, man. And that's echoed in Jakob's interview with Josh Lewenberg at the practice facility this last couple of days, saying, Toronto, he just loves Toronto, man. Jakob is just effusive about the reasons why he want to be Toronto. He's like, oh, that's a loaded question. I could just go on and days why I love Toronto. I love the fans. I love the people. I love how they embraced me when I first came. They were so friendly. I love the multicultural internationalness of this city as an Austrian. This city has been so good for me in certain ways. I mean, that's the thing. Any player from anywhere in the world, Toronto has an advantage that we have a little part of our city that has that community there. Darko comes, and all of a sudden, he's ensconced in the Serbian community here in Canada, in Toronto. And he's a leader right away, and community leader in the Serbian community in Toronto. Serge Ibaka can come here and play for the Raptors, and he can get the foods and the meals that he would like from Brazzaville over in Africa. So Pascal, same thing. It's like, man, Toronto's awesome because I can actually get the food from Cameroon that I want. You know, it's the same thing over and over again. Mamu's going to have Georgian community to interact with, just like Jakob knows probably some Austrian people in Toronto too. So it's just it's really is a benefit and a privilege, multiculturalism and diversity, DEI, hello, because it's helping the Raptors with making people feel at home from all around the world. And it's a really, really big deal. Yeah, Jakob's awesome, man. And he really does love the Raptors, man. It's crazy how much he loves the Raptors. And he really is all about us and what we're doing with our plan. He is ready to win. And you can tell Jakob's a really happy guy right now. He's really got good energy around him right now. You can tell. The new extension probably has something to do with it. New extension has something to do with it right there, honestly. Yeah. Fiercey saying, Mamu also said he knows RJ's family. I have a feeling despite some players tried to sully Toronto and display cons of working here, many players do know Raptors is a great organization, take care of their players, and that Toronto is a nice city to live in. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of subterfuge. There's going to be negative ninnies and idiots like Jeff Teague and Gilbert Arenas that may put out weird xenophobic takes and just not get it. But that's their own damn fault, and that's their own limited life and worldview that messes them up. You know, there's worldly people. There's very intelligent people like Fred VanVleet that know the amazingness of Toronto and Canada, and they gained it to their advantage. They didn't work it against them. They were open-minded, very, very smart people, and boom, there you go. Fred VanVleet's got a $40 million contract. So it's just like, you know, in some ways, you know, not being closed-minded, not being xenophobic, it can actually work for you, America. I'm serious. It can work for you in the benefit, you know, seriously. Wayne saying good bench. However, Oshai has to have a better year than last season. His replacement, Elijah Martin, is here. I don't know if he's exactly a replacement for Oshai. They're not really. I mean, there's some similarities, sure, but you know, I don't like this comment because I feel like Abaji had a huge jump last year. I think that you're forgetting that Abaji from the half season he was on our team before was really like kind of lost when he got traded to us from Utah with Kelly. And then last year he had a bad summer league and we were really worried about him after that. But then he hit the ground running when the season started. And honestly, he was above and beyond last year. In the place of a lot of injuries for the Raptors, Scotty out then, Jakob out here, RJ out here, Emmanuel out here, Oshai started quite a few games last year and played at a very good high level. In fact, he won a bunch of games for us and was our best player in a lot of games. When I did the star ratings at the end of the year, Oshai scored really high out of all the Raptors and higher than he probably should have in his place in the roster. So I'm going to disagree with you, Wayne. He had a fantastic year last year. And he built a lot on it. Now, the thing I want to say about Oshai is I'm not worried about keeping him. I love the guy, and if he stays a Raptor, I'll be happy. It's not that I don't want him on this team. But if we're going to do moves in the middle of the season to get under the cap, it's him I want to get traded. I think that he is the one that would make the most sense in certain ways because we've got a lot of what he has in different places. Like you just said, Elijah Martin, you know, different things like that. And in some ways, I would protect Barrett and keep RJ on this team and trade Oshai Abaji way before I trade RJ Barrett. And I know that that doesn't give a lot of room on this cap like RJ would. But honestly, it's like Stargate and Logical Raptors Fanatic had a long conversation yesterday on our Discord about, is it really true that we have to trade RJ? And it's not. It's absolute hot air. There's no reason for us to have to trade RJ Barrett while he's on his contract right now. This is completely manufactured by New York Knicks Nation and fans and media in New York. They're making up all the RJ needs to be traded bullshit because they can't stand the hometown hero being on our team being successful. So don't fall for this Raptors Nation. The Raptors don't have to trade RJ. That's absolutely a convoluted trope that's being put out there by our enemies. Bobby Webster knows this, and RJ Barrett knows this too. He could play out his whole entire contract with us. It would all fit together. Mike has pointed it all out as our capologist. And we can even try and re-sign him when his contract's up and continue to have him in Raptors jersey. So when you hear rumors about RJ being traded or not being here, realize it's from people that hate us. And if you're pushing those rumors or pushing for what they want, well, you're pushing for what our enemies want. And I'll continue to say that. We have looked at it completely, and there's no reason why RJ has to be traded specifically. There's no reason at all. And that's what these guys were talking about yesterday. Mike's got it all laid out. He's seen the percentages of what our main players take of our cap, and how it's going to move forward with the changes in the salary caps coming up. Scotty takes 25% of our cap, and Brandon takes the 25%, and then they all figure it out after that. And in some ways, the contracts that Emmanuel and RJ and Brandon are on are actually very helpful. And later on in their years, they don't go in a weird way where it makes it harder for us. In fact, it's done in a certain way because Bobby Webster is such a capologist that it frees up more money over time for us to have more MLE and extra signings to fill out the roster in a couple of years from now. It doesn't get tighter. It gets looser because of the way Bobby Webster set it all up, guys. You guys got to remember, Bobby Webster may be the best person in the NBA on salary cap stuff. He just understands everything really, really well. And he's slick. He's a good problem solver. And in some ways, he's doing things in certain ways to really leverage the Raptors' power and versatility and decision-making and ability to be flexible. So you guys got to remember that, man. So I'm okay with trading Oshai, is what I'll say to you, Wayne, on this. I think if we're going to trade one particular player on our team, he's the first one I would say we could trade. I love him. I think he's been great. I think he's been a fantastic Raptor. It's just that in some ways, I know if we want to be the best team we can be, he's not totally necessary going forward. And if we really need to get under a certain place with the cap by the trade deadline, he's the one I want to see getting moved. And it's no diss to him. I think he's an amazing person. He's an amazing guy. I've really enjoyed him being on the Raptors. It's just, if my personal choice, that's who I would move. That's who I would move. So let's keep going. Kareem saying at James, I've been saying I'll match our starting five against any starting five in the East, and I'll be comfortable. It'll put our bench up against any bench in the league, and again, I'll be comfortable. Yeah. I mean, I love our starting five: Emmanuel, RJ, Brandon, Scotty, Jakob. These guys, any of them, in some ways, you could make an argument that they're all-stars, all five of them. You could make an argument that Jakob Poeltl could be an all-star. Seriously, he's the one that's maybe the least easy to make the case for. But honestly, the way he played last year and the level he's at, he could be an all-star. Those other four guys are all-stars. At some point in their career, they're all going to be all-stars. Scotty's already won. Brandon's been one already. He can come back and get it again. And RJ and Emmanuel will be eventual all-stars. I'm going to predict that right now. Yeah. So I'm with you on this. You add that, all right, our starting five is comparable and can play any starting five. Yep. And then you got an amazing bench that's led by Shed and Walter. Yeah, we're going to be good. Grady Dick. Oh, yeah, we're going to be good. We're going to be good. Wayne's saying, Stargate, are you in Brampton? I think that man might be in Brampton. I'm not totally sure. James is saying, I agree with Kareem. Trevor's saying, we don't go to Rob's show last night. We ended up at the Backstreet Boys show. It was good. We had fun. You went to the Sphere, too. So you didn't go to Rob's show last night? What was Rob's show? Rob's show. You ended up going to the Backstreet Boys like Scotty at Sphere. So you were watching the Backstreets back. All right. Yeah, interesting. So Trevor was at Backstreet Boys. All right. Stargate saying, yeah, I think Blackhawk is in Brampton as well. Yeah, there's a lot of people on the west side of Toronto, Mississauga, Brampton area out there. Yeah, we got our West Siders for sure. We got our West Siders. That's right. Wayne saying, Stargate, I am in Georgetown. Tell your buddies to stay out. I see them infiltrating the neighborhood. Whoa, you guys talking about gang territories and stuff like that? Yikes. You're in Georgetown. Okay. And you want the Brampton guys to stay out? Ooh. Trevor's saying, is hello and welcome take over the Raptor media? They're showing all the interviews. I noticed that, Trevor, that in some ways Will Liu is giving all the interviews and putting them out on his channel now. I guess he has the authorization of the Raptors official. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the interviews. You got the TSN ones with Josh Lewenberg that are put up on the TSN site that aren't on YouTube. And then you got the ones that Helen Welcome are doing with William Liu. And I mean, they're all good. I just want content. I mean, if Raptors official admin's not taking care of it and these other places are taking care of it, so what? As long as we can get to it. That's all I'm saying. As long as we can get to it and we can see it. That's what I want to see. Yeah, let's see. Kareem Thomas is saying, Lex, next year, let's work on you getting a media pass. You deserve it, man. I mean, it would be a dream and it'd be kind of fun. I don't know if I deserve it. Once again, I don't consider myself press. I consider myself a fan with a very passionate fan channel. And in some ways, that gives me license to do things that those guys shouldn't be doing. If you're a fan, you can make idiotic mistakes and be a complete homer and can be absolutely biased for the Raptors in all kinds of ways because I'm a fan And I can say that, the media journalists, in some ways, they kind of half-ass try and act like, oh, we're not biased. And no, but some of them will go overboard. They will sully the Raptors just to show that they're not biased towards the Raptors. In some ways, it's like, I don't want that label of being press. But if they want to make me a fun fan guy that comes in on a press pass, that'd be awesome. I'd do it. I'd totally do it. But once again, I do not consider myself press. I am not like William Liu. I am not like Josh Lewenberg and Michael Grange. I'm just a very diehard, passionate Raptors fan that wanted to start a YouTube channel to keep the positive vibes and the atmosphere and culture of the Raptors fan nation more positive. But I would do it in a heartbeat. If any of y'all got a line on it and you want to get me that pass as a president or something like that, I would do it. I would definitely do it. But I don't know if I'm on the line or any kind of way, or they may even be like, yeah, we know about your channel. We can't do this, bro. We've heard what you say. They might say that too. Fiercely saying, Shed wanting to replicate the bench mob, studying them is so inspiring to see this and feel how motivated he is. As a Raptors fan, I definitely feel we're in good hands with Shed as a backup point guard. Yeah, I'm really excited. I really hope everything just goes really smoothly this whole year. And we see so much cohesion and just success for the Raptors. We win way more games this year. I feel like the East is weakened, so we do have a chance. The thing that's really going to tell me more about how our season will go is when we get the schedule. We've had such manipulative schedules the last 2 years. The first 2 years of Darko, he's really not had easy schedules his first 2 years. On the down low, I wish his detractors and haters would give him more credit for the fact that Darko Rajakovic has had two of the weirdest fucking schedules ever given the Raptors in the 2 years he's coached them. So it's like, like last year, giving us all our easy games at the end of the season, that was totally maliciously mean and messed up. And that was sabotage, honestly. You start the season with a young core. You want to have some easy games. Well, they didn't give any of them. They gave us all playoff teams till December, and we went through the fire. And then by the time we got our easy games, everybody didn't want us to win. That was all plotted and planned by the NBA in their schedule to fuck with us. So I have to see what the schedule looks like and how they fleshed it out for us this year to see really the best. That's the best opportunity for me to kind of go over like, okay, I can see what's going to happen. Because I was right this year. I knew we would be winning a bunch of games at the end of the year and people would be pissed off because they think we should be tanking because of the way they structured our schedule. And I knew it from the beginning last August. So this year, when we see the schedule come out in August, we'll have to read through it and assess exactly what the NBA has put in front of us as far as hurdles. I think we're due a nice, easy, cushy schedule, NBA, and that y'all need to be a little bit nicer to us this year because you've been really awful to us for a couple years now. You really, really have. And until we see that schedule, we'll have to find out. That's right. Stargate saying at Wayne, what you're right. Too many Brampton folks moving to Georgetown for real. Okay, this is not gang stuff. It's just moving stuff. Okay. Fiercey's number 3 on the top fan charts. A happy birthday to Isaac Campbell. That's right. So awesome. Like, seriously, the benevolent one is, in some ways, he's a spiritual guide to me. Seriously, I'm so brash and talkative and abrasive. And Isaac, in some ways, he's just a very calm, collected, generous, caring person. And you know what? I don't necessarily say this sometimes, but I have. I say, what would Isaac do? And I'm like, I think this is what Isaac would do. And I try, because he really is the kind of person that, like, I feel like he could teach me how to be a happier person in my life because the way he carries himself, you'd have to meet him in person. You'd understand. And I'll never forget him bringing me all those ganja cigarettes when we were at the Real Jerk. He's just handing them out to everybody. He's like, here. He was giving out ganja cigarettes to everybody. It was awesome, man. Kareem saying, happy birthday, Isaac. You should go to Denny's to get a free meal for your birthday. Of course, the Denny's endorser will say this. Oh, come on, Kareem. Let's talk about another restaurant instead. In fact, we're going to talk about a small potatoes local restaurant in Sutton, Ontario called Santa's Station. Santa's Station is a place I've been frequenting recently because it's a fantastic restaurant. Santa is there. She will take you to your table, and then Coach Aru will cook you the best, amazing breakfast all day, all kinds of different dishes. If you find yourself in Sutton, in Ontario, near Lake Simcoe and Keswick, go to Santa's Station. I cannot speak more highly of a great local restaurant than Santa's Station. I went there and ate there yesterday again, and it was absolutely top-notch once again. I ate there twice this week. So Shefferu will take care of you. He listens to the Raptor Freak channel, guys. And he's also a huge Raptors fan. So you want to go and support a nice local restaurant in the Simcoe region or near Lake Simcoe, south of it, go to Sutton and go to Santa Station on Baseline Road, not far from Dalton and Sutton, Ontario. Yeah, if you're out there, out that way, go there. Yeah, or go to Denny's for your birthday. Isaac Campbell, happy birthday to Isaac from Blackhawk. I love it. W for you, Isaac. W for you, my guy. Putting Monique, myself, and Mr. Barnes on blast. That's right. Isaac, we love you. And that's why, you're on the birthday calendar. So you ain't going to get by without me knowing. That's right. I always know. So he's saying, per the Lakers situation, ESPN tried to interview him during the game yesterday. He said, I've got nothing to say. Wow, LeBron has nothing to say. Man, this is crazy. There really is a change of the tide in LA. I think it is true that LeBron may be switching jerseys very soon. Bronny's saying he doesn't care what happens with his dad. He's there. He's just got to be doing what he's going to be doing. James says LeBron wants to play with Steph Curry, in my opinion. I think that's true. I think that's very true. I think Paris Olympics, the fun of LeBron being with Steph and them enjoying it, I think that is very true. I mean, all these lazy players from that era, they all want to just stack their superpowers together. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, they've always been all about that. Let me go play with the best other players. Oh, yeah, I played against Steph so many years in the finals. I'm going to finally play with him at the end of my career. Easy way. That's what this fucking shit is. That's part of the reason why I never respected LeBron James, Kevin Durant for their era and them being the figureheads of it, because they always went the easy route. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And the idea that LeBron wants to pair up with Steph right before the end of his career, yeah, that's just more of that bullshit. That's just more of that bullshit. Wayne saying Ricky Rubio's observation is seen with mostly Americans not even rich per se. On vacation when served, they can't say please and thank you. Can just imagine newly rich ball players' attitude to people. Yeah, I want to be fair with what he's saying. And you're right. In some ways, there is rudeness in different ways. I mean, him being a Spanish man from Spain and the way he came into the league very young too. We got to remember Ricky Rubio has been in the NBA for a long, long time. So he saw a lot from the Timberwolves all the way to the Cavs. And, you may be right. It's not even a symptom of the players itself. It may be just American culture, and he finds rude in certain ways. People got to stop thinking their shit don't stink in the United States. Y'all shit stinks so bad, it's stinking up the whole entire planet right now. And in some ways, y'all need to be more realistic about how ungreat America is right now, because y'all are not great. In fact, you guys went in the wrong direction. For that guy having that slogan for this, he's made you guys as less great as possible. Worse and worse great. A laughingstock, a fucking hypocritical country that is not anything like what it's supposed to be standing for at this point. You have thrown all that shit out the window, the United States. And I mean, once again, people can be arrogant down there and not understand why Jonas Valanciunas does not want to play in the NBA in America anymore. You can be ignorant to it, but people on the outside, like people up here in Canada, people in Europe, people around the world, we understand exactly why Jonas Valanciunas may not want to report to the Nuggets right now. Seriously, same kind of reasons why Ricky Rubio retired early and went home as a Spanish man in America too. Yeah. Kareem saying Clutch will make a push for LeBron to join the WNBA so he can get another ring. He's been chasing Jordan and will stop at nothing to get that GOAT title. What are you saying? Is this like a Joanna Man thing or something like that? What is this? You mean as a front office? You mean as a coach? What if LeBron's coaching the Toronto Tempo, guys? Would that be weird? Our new coach we've announced is LeBron James, coach of the Toronto Tempo. That'd be a weird one. That'd be out of left field. I think people would love it, though. They'd really go after that. Yeah, Stargate saying it smooth. Who is him? Who is him? Who is him? I think he's saying LeBron. I think they tried to interview LeBron. Mike's saying, hey, Mike's here. Good to see Logical Raptors fanatics in the house, our capologist. And in some ways, man, I love Mike so much. I love him busting rumors and busting the bullshit and just making it, more clear and making people see, this is bullshit and don't follow this shit. That's right. That's right. Hang on. Let me see. Where am I here? I lost my place in the chat. I'll find it in a second. Okay. Logical saying the Braun noise at the moment is nothing. It's like impossible to get Braun off the Lakers this year. Okay, so Mike's saying realistically, from the money standpoint, it's impossible for LeBron to go anywhere at least this year. But they're already trying to see the future, and they know the future's with Luka. And some people are anxious to get past the LeBron era and Lakers. So this is going to be really toxic, man. If this is going to be this kind of year for the Lakers, oh, this is going to be so toxic. You can add in that DeAndre Ayton's their starting center. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Lakers Nation is going to be all in it this year, man, because their team's not good. They will be bad. They will probably miss the playoffs. And there's some really strong Western teams out there. They're going to make them look like a G League team, honestly. They're going to look like a G League team in some cases, especially with Ayton as their starting center. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it was LeBron James is who they were interviewing. Yeah. Kaz saying dunk for Kareem, Lex. You want to dunk for Kareem? We can do that. We can do that. Kareem Thomas, you're getting a dunk from Chucker Kaz. Alley-oop style. 165 for Kareem on our dunk charts now. That's right. Mike saying Ingram was shooting and doing things on court during the season. He just got cleared 5 versus 5, has been practicing. Yeah, it's ramping up. It's ramping up. And he's assessing his conditioning in the interview yesterday, saying that, my conditioning isn't exactly where it should be, but it's pretty good for this time of year in July. Because, look, he's doing conditioning, and maybe in Pelicans, he didn't start doing conditioning till September. But because he's in the Raptors, a very hands-on organization that's providing, coaches and programs and schedules, he's in there working at the summer league in the Wynn Casino ballroom, and he is, making progress. And in some ways, he does need to work on his conditioning, his wind, his ability to get up and down the court without getting tired. And, well, it's July. The season don't start till the end of October. So you got some months to do this and get your conditioning up. Brandon Ingram. That's right. Get your conditioning up. Kareem Thomas saying, Stargate, I did practice as a physiotherapist. See, there you go. I told you. He has some background in this and what we're talking about right here and there. Yeah. But I decided to work for the city instead. I've watched too much fake MVA, motor vehicle accidents, insurance scams. That was jeopardizing my license. Okay. That's interesting. I don't know if that's a joke. I think it went right over my head. I think that might have been a joke, but I didn't get it. Blackhawk saying Fred VanVleet became the president of the NBA Players Association. Yeah, we were talking about this already. We're very proud of our guy, Fred. It's a prestigious thing. Add another thing to his resume. And like I said, perfect candidate for this. He's a man who's been at every level of the NBA, and he can look at it from the perspective of the guy who's really trying to make it at the bottom all the way to the top. And that's a really, really good person to be in charge. Wayne saying Raptors Summer League defense is our DNA. Yeah. Apart from battle, need to see consistent shooting with positive results. We're great at scoring buckets from defensive stands. Let's see execution of plays. Now, let's say this happens today with the Orlando Magic game. Maybe the Raptors aren't as good at stealing the ball this time because the Magic scouted the game against the Bulls, and they saw how we were attacking the ball handlers at midcourt and swarming them and making them mess up. It's funny. They were kind of talking about this, Elijah Martin and Jamal Shed. They're enjoying, like a little bit of sadistic glee, the taking turns of terrorizing the other team. That's what they were saying in the interview yesterday. Elijah Martin's like, yeah, it's his turn, then it's my turn. And we're just into terrorizing the other team and the ball handlers. Now, what did the Magic come up with schemes to try and get around our trapping and our harassing? Well, will the Raptors have to go to different ways to try and manufacture points today instead of relying on defensive transition to get easy transition baskets? Will we have to get into more half-court sets today against the Magic and actually work our offense around in half-court more? Because we really didn't have to do that a whole lot against Chicago. A lot of what we did was full-court transition offense. Now, I kind of want to see the difference. If Orlando has done their scouting report and can see what we were doing and they can try and stop it. Maybe they don't have the ability because they're, it's like herding kittens together in the summer league as far as like so many different egos and different things going on with different people to get your shit together to play as a team and try and play a team concept to beat another team concept like we're running is very hard in summer league. And that's part of the reason why I feel like we're going to run through the summer league, because even if Orlando can see what the antidote is for the Raptors swarming defense, it doesn't mean that they'll have the personnel and connection to execute it on the court to try and stop it. So we'll see. If they can't get past that first part where we did to the Bulls, they're done, just like the Bulls are. If they are able to get around that part, well, we may see some new wrinkles in how the Raptors have to run their half-court offense to get some of their points. And then we'll see more of the shooting in half court with Jamison Battle and other shooters. So yeah, this is good stuff, Wayne. And I don't know. I don't think that Orlando has the wherewithal or the control with their players to be able to weather what we're doing. We're just too connected, and we have a really sound game plan. And it's going to fuck them up, honestly. It's going to mess them up. I fully expect another rout today, guys. I really, really do. Kaz is saying happy birthday to Isaac. I'm catching up on the stream. There you go. Much love from the number 3 top fan, Isaac Campbell. Number 1 in our hearts today on his birthday. That's right. Smooth saying good for the Lakers, taking back control of their team. I like it. Lakers front office. The signs on the wall, there's a transition coming. Genie Bus, Rob Pelinka, and their time may be up. And honestly, it could be our guy going there. Seriously, if they really want to spend the money and get the top of the league, the Dodgers ownership may be paying Ujiri to come and run the Lakers very soon. And in some ways, I won't hate that because it's prestigious and he'll look real good if he fixes the Lakers. Seriously, it could actually be an opportunity to really build his legacy. And it'll hurt and it'll be sucking. And it's sad to see him like that. If he is going to take a job in the NBA, I think it should be something like that because it's a big deal. And if he does turn the Lakers around and make them way better in an era of Luka Doncic, Masai Ujiri will become a god and a legend throughout the whole entire NBA, not just with us. We know he is already up here in Canada, but in some ways, and he is respected all around the league. But if he can do this for the Lakers, just imagine the stratosphere he will go into as one of the greatest NBA executives in the history of the NBA. And the first one's always going to be us, and the special one will always be us. It's just that the Lakers will be his latest project. And man, that man will be up there in a top 3 all-time greatest sports executives in the NBA's history, like Red Auerbach. Seriously, this man will be the Red Auerbach of our lifetime if Masai Ujiri could pull something off like that. It's not that I want it. Honestly, I think it would be a headache. It'd be a really tough job for him, but he could be successful doing it. I'd rather him go do something else. But the signs are pointing that this may be what happens because the Dodgers paid out the ass to steal the guy from Tampa, Cashman or whatever, Brian. And, well, that action, if they're going to duplicate that kind of action in the NBA world, it's Masai. It's Masai. And they'll do it. I'll bet you. And if the money is huge and crazy, Masai may not be able to say no. And we need to be ready for this just in case it happens, guys. Just in case it happens. Fiercely saying, Lex touched a great point to Kareem Thomas's question. Garrett probably has a spot that could have gone to Chris. It's a delicate situation. Chris can be more impactful on the court and tight games, while Temple seems to be impacting on the bench and influencing the demeanor, which should be also valued. Yeah, in some ways, once again, we don't live on the moon like Bobby Webster and Masai Ujiri before him. We have no idea exactly the parameters and the landscape of things in certain ways. And, well, we just got to trust Bobby and let him do his job and not second guess it. That's just how it is, guys. That's just how it is. Garrett Temple's on this team for a reason, and may very well be the number 1 reason is Darko. That's the main reason right there, I'm saying. Let's see. Wayne's saying, are we being like ESPN? We're here yapping about LeBron and Lakers. I see no reason to opine on that team in the West. Well, this is interesting stuff, and this is a very much a change that's coming with the Lakers organization. That ownership change is going to be seismic, and it's going to help the Lakers a lot because they're going to be more invested in helping them to win, and there may be a lot more sound people running the Lakers. So the Lakers being like the Knicks West, this is going to be over. I really fully predict that they're going to go on the route like the Dodgers, and they're really going to try and get top-notch everything to be absolutely the top competitive team in the NBA. They're going to try to. Now, the salary cap will restrain them better than the MLB salary cap has for the Dodgers. The Dodgers can basically buy a World Series right now. The Lakers would do the same under this ownership group. It was allowed under Adam Silver's system, but it isn't. So thank God. So they won't be completely successful, but they're going to be way more successful with the buses gone. And Rob Pelinka probably gone too at some point. So we'll just have to see. These are valid NBA conversations. They really are. I don't like talking about LeBron, but this is a valid time to talk about it in some ways. Kareem saying, only time I think of the Lakers is when I take a piss. I should drink more water, actually. Why? So you can think about the Lakers more? Giannis Ski 13. Welcome to the Raptors Freak Podcast. Every morning at 9:30 a.m. We're talking Raptors here 365 days a year, 4 years straight now. So we don't take a day off, and we will talk about the daily Raptors events and things that are going on. Good to see Giannis Ski. Hello. Do you know if former Raptor Jonas Valanciunas will stay in Denver? Well, it's really up in the air. We've been covering this situation pretty closely and kind of watching it. I was one of the first channels to break that Jonas wants to go to Europe. He said this like 2 months ago, right after the season ended. Jonas went over to Europe and he said, I kind of want to play in Europe this year. So he said this way before he was traded to the Nuggets, way, way before. So everybody who's trying to say, oh, he wants to go because he got traded to the Nuggets, that's not true. He was wanting to leave the NBA just in general. So it has nothing to do with either team. It doesn't have to do with the Kings. It has nothing to do with Domantas Sabonis. It has nothing to do with Denver or Jokic. It has to do with his own self. And he, like I said, he don't want to be in the U.S. The U.S. is a dumpster fire right now. The U.S. is falling into Nazi Germany. It's a fascist fucking country. They're jailing people without due process. And honestly, as a person who's not an American in that country, he's like, I don't need to be here. And, his wife's probably like, I hate this shit. I hate this Donald Trump country that's turning. And they're like, fuck this place. You've been in the NBA for so long. I want to go home. So it's his family that wants him to go home. We've speculated that maybe he has a family member that's not doing well and that he wants to be there for their last years or something like that. Either way, he wants to play in Greece. He does not want to play for Denver. And Denver's holding his feet to the fire. Well, this is a Sasha Venchenko situation, exactly the same. That the Greek team's already got a verbal commitment with him, but he's under contract with the Nuggets. So what's going to give? I don't know. The Nuggets could make him come and play, force him to. But why would you do that? The man don't want to be there. It's like he wants his freedom. He's willing to rip up a $10 million contract. That should be his right. He don't want $10 million because he wants to go home. That should be his right. But Nuggets fans are getting upset. They're saying he should honor his contract. But we don't understand exactly what's going on with him. It could be his wife is like, no, Jonas, I do not want to live in this fucked up country anymore. We're leaving the United States. It could be that he has a family member who's not well, but he has family reasons for not why he wants to go and play in Greece. And I don't know. I believe in freedom. I believe in the right to, if you change your mind and you have a contract, well, if you don't want $10 million, you rip it up. And the Nuggets get a lot of cap room from that. And they get the ability to move in other directions. So that's where I stand on this. I stand with Jonas. He's a Raptors legend. I want him to get what he wants. I don't give a shit what the Nuggets want. I don't give a shit what Greece wants either. I give a shit what Jonas wants. And I once again, I'll say the blind spot of Americans thinking that your shit don't stink and that your country's just so badass under Donald Trump is not true. And you may find a lot more people boycotting your country in all kinds of crazy ass ways, like an NBA player from Lithuania who is refusing to want to play in the United States at this point. Listen, we're from the Baltics. We know about the Soviets and fascism and the bullshit of Putin. And well, Trump is like Putin. And Jonas Valanciunas is a free man from Lithuania. And he does not like fucking fascism. So that's it right there, Yansky. Seriously, that's it right there. JB stays. That's what Kareem wants. He's a Nuggets fan. But I want what's good for Jonas. And if Jonas don't want to play for an American team and you don't want to play in the NBA anymore, I support him. I support him right there. James saying, Oshai definitely improved, no doubt. Yeah, he was improved last year, especially on his offense. His defense made some leaps, but the offensive stuff looked way better. Much more smooth with his three-point shooting, and he was really good in transition, guys. Ochai Agbaji is a really good transition finisher. Really, really good. Wayne saying Jakob having a good backup is so huge. I'm telling Raptors freaks, Jakob shooting is going to kill our opponents on Ochai. We value him, and he has improved, but we need more aggression near the rim. The thing with Ochai is that, there's a lot of duplication on our roster in some ways. There really is. We've got depth in certain skills. And in some ways, if I'm assessing the roster, he's the one that we could let go the easiest and we would not miss a beat. Now, he's valuable. He's a fantastic premium defensive player and athlete. He's absolutely an outstanding athlete. But I'm just saying, if there's pieces that will not be able to go forward with us, he's one that I would investigate cutting ties with first. Because the holes in the roster, if he leaves, aren't really there in some ways. That's what I'm saying right there. That's what I'm saying right there. Fiercely saying, you get rid of an important piece when hoping to get the missing piece to a chip. Our current squad is extremely solid and talented as is. No need to trade RJ. Well, it is true, Fiercey, that the Raptors are hovering in a certain place around the tax. that if they make a trade and cut a little bit of salary at the trade deadline, it will save us money. So there is a lot of indication the Raptors will be moving a current player by the middle of the season. So that is very likely that somebody's going to get traded. I'm just starting to advocate right now that if we are going to choose somebody, that is who I would like to choose. And it's nothing, once again, it's nothing against Oshai. It's just I love RJ Barrett. I love that Toronto connection. And you know, in some ways, what we need to do to get under the tax can be achieved by just trading Oshai. We don't need to trade RJ. That is a lot of bullshit right there. Yeah, Fiercely saying, we see you haters suggesting otherwise. That's right. That's right. Nins is saying, W Lex, W Rabbit Freak family. Thank you, Administrator Nins. Thank you for your support of the channel. Thank you for supporting the Discord. And thank you for being a Raptor Freak in the enemy zones of the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's right. Nins is habitating in Philly, guys, and he supports our team. That's right. Stargate saying, that's what I'm saying, Lex. You probably misunderstood my comment. Even if we do have doctors in the Raptors Freak family, they haven't done examinations on BI in order to provide appropriate diagnosis. Yeah, I don't even know why this is a subject at this point. This may have been more interesting to talk about last season when there was speculation whether he would return or not. At this point, he's fine. So let's not even worry about it. Let's just go forward. That's what I would say about it. That's right. Ninja is saying we have 33 watching. Hit the like button if you haven't already. I appreciate that. I love anybody new who's watching me right now. You just found the Raptor Street channel. If you love the Raptors passionately like I do, if you are trying to have a positive fandom that isn't toxic, like a lot of Toronto Sports Nation has been over the history, you know, the Leafs, the Blue Jays, they've had their ups and downs, both of those franchises. In some ways, it jades everybody in the city on sports. And I've tried to carve out a space for Raptors Nation to be separate from Leafs Nation and get a lot of the jadedness out of here because we are not the same as them. In some ways, we're scared with Ed Rogers being in charge and Masai gone, that the quality control of trying to really strive for winning is in peril. But who knows? We're going to give it a chance under Bobby Webster and the new regime. And hopefully the Raptors stay on track with the vision that Bobby and Masai shared together when Masai was still working for us. But yeah, fuck you, Keith Pelly. Fuck you, Ed Rogers III. You didn't have no reason to fire a great asset and a great leader in the man Masai Ujiri. And yeah, I'll never forgive you guys for that. And everything that goes wrong going forward is fuck you guys for firing our great chairman and president, Masai Ujiri, is what I say to that. But yeah, thank you for watching if you're new. And thank you for your subscription too, if you've subscribed. There you go. Trevor wants the classic card. We'll get there. We'll get there. Wayne saying, I do not engage in trades involving our core group. That's blasphemy. I look at the team matchups, can't have Shed or IQ expending excess energy, defending opponents like SGA. Defensive aggression is germane. You know, we are going to be a real brand of a buzzsaw this season. Because listen, we're not going to relent on defensive energy. The stuff we're seeing right now in Summer League, this is going to be the tone for the year. We saw it last year already to an extent, but think about it. Really, seriously, we added a couple more dogs to the pound with people like Hepburn and Martin. These guys, along with Shed and Jacoby and Grady, and they're jumping in the passing lanes. We have high IQ guys who can read plays ahead of time. Like Sandro even jumps in passing lanes and steals balls. And, you know, Jonathan was doing it. Ulrich, Chomche jumped in the passing lane as our 5 project. You know, there's a lot of really good defensive aspects about our team and our players, the collection of them. Some teams would only get like one Elijah Martin and wouldn't have a Shed also. You know, they'll have a Caruso. You know, that's what Oklahoma City did to win the championship. They had a Case and Wallace, an Alex Caruso, and a Luguette Stewart. So now we got a Jamal Shed, an Elijah Martin, a Jacoby Walter, a Chucky Hepburn. And these guys are those kind of tenacious defenders. And it's going to be such a huge part of our identity for our team this year. I'm telling you, this is the spam steal year. Just like you play in a video game. You're playing NBA 2K, and some people just spam steal around the ball if the other team has it, and they get steals all the time. Well, that's what we're doing as a team, just like in the video game in real life. Spamming steal. That's how it gets 34 turnovers on the Chicago Bulls the other night. That's how they get that, is spamming the steal. Spam steal, 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 steal. Yep. It's just like a video game. Just like a video game. Mike's saying people were wanting to trade for RJ for a fit as well. Not going to lie, they say we need more defense and spacing. Yeah, I don't even understand that. RJ can fit and do everything fine. I think, once again, they're just looking for excuses or reasoning that's somewhat plausible to try and get some legs on their bullshit. And their real intention is just to get him off our team. There's no real other reason other than they just don't fucking want Rowan Barrett Jr. playing for the Raptors, because they see the joy, they see the chemistry, they see the love, they see the loyalty, they see the future of young Toronto kids, seeing a Toronto kid playing at a high level and winning, possibly winning a championship on the Raptors. God forbid they were say in their minds, our haters would be, oh no, we can't ever see RJ win a championship with the Raptors. That would be too perfect for them. God forbid. Our haters would hate that. We would love it so much. So understand this. This is part of it. And you guys got to remember too, this is the kind of thing like when you're dating somebody, they were dating, New York was dating RJ, and the relationship was rocky. It wasn't good. It was toxic. And well, he went and found a new team, and it's beautiful and it's going really smooth. And the ex is being a hater. You know how this dynamic works in your own personal lives, how this works with this kind of stuff. Well, this is what this is. And this is why it's manifesting like this. All the RJ hate. Knicks fans that love RJ, that love him on Toronto, are coming around saying, why are you guys talking about this? No, it's not even us. It's your other fans. They're trying to subterfuge and put confusing shit. You don't have to be in Toronto to get on Raptors Reddit. You could come from any angle, anywhere in the world, and write whatever bullshit in Raptors Reddit that you want to and be anonymously somebody else. We don't know who you are, Manure, who's always posting in Raptors Reddit with your bullshit. You could be a very, very, like, a guy who has a lot of time on his hands and he thinks he's doing a good job for the New York Knicks by hanging out on Raptors Reddit, causing confusion. So I would say that it's like, listen to fans. Sure, you all can have your opinions, but if you're talking crazy shit that's detrimental to the future of the Raptors and them winning, I'm not going to look at you as a real fan. I'm going to look at you as an imposter. I'm going to look at you as possibly a fan of another team trying to come in here and just using techniques of confusion and misinformation, disinformation, and bullshit. Just general bullshit. Because that's what a lot of this is. Honestly, a lot of the hot air in the offseason about trades and things like RJ Barrett is a lot of bullshit, is what I'm saying right now. That's right. That's right. Trevor's saying, my friend is doing a big pool party today at his house. I'm staying here with my 3 other friends, and I'm cooking all the food. You better put those pictures up on Discord. That's right. If you join the channel as a member, you get access to our Discord server and the great food that Trevor J is making all the time. Always putting the pictures up. And we see that food, and then I'm like, dang, Trevor, you made me hungry again. I got to go and get something from the kitchen. Because Trevor is like that with his food. You want to see what the food is? You got to join the channel. You can see it. Mike's saying if Braun wanted to leave the Lakers, he should have turned down the $52 million and signed a $30 million 1 year so the team can trade him without gutting the roster. Yeah, that's a sign right there that, yeah, 52, you can't line that up with other teams. No, I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening at all. So let's see. Mike's saying also when he took the $52 million option, he sealed his fate this year. Yeah. So you're saying he's locked in and there's nowhere he can go otherwise. I can see that. I can see that, Mike. Wayne's saying Oshai is great defensively, offensively, very useful in threes and finishing at the rim. Comparing Martin now, Oshai is ahead, but barely. Rookie has a lot of upside, which means players have to earn the job. Yeah, I mean, I don't see him in the same kind of player as Oshai at all. I mean, the similarities are they have big shoulders and they're strong armed and they're good athletes. They're extremely good, explosive jumping athletes. But in some ways, I don't really see them playing the same position and doing the same things. Smooth's here. He's saying the Greek team still believes they're going to sign JV per Mark Stein. Yeah, they do. They blindly do this. And they may actually really do a lot of stuff in Denver Nuggets fan spaces to really try and change things and win this thing over. They're trying to win by arguing in comments. And they even do crazy stuff like they start talking about like a Greek god Olympian curses and stuff like that. It's really crazy. The Greek fans are weird, man. And they're very passionate about their team. And if they want Jonas there, they're not going to relent in social media spaces. They're going to keep coming into Nugget spaces and raising a ruckus. Adriana's here, and she's mad at me. And she has every reason to be mad at me. She's saying that I know a lot about being toxic. She's right. I have not been a perfect person. I've done a lot of messed up things in my life. And I have been toxic at times in my life. I'm trying to get better and better and clean it out. And yeah, I'm sorry. That's all I can say, Adriana. I'm sorry. That's all I can say. Mike's laughing. Mike's saying Bron fans want the Lakers to buy him out and they feel disrespected. Lakers fan base war will be some good watching. Yeah, the dumpster fire that the Lakers are is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Mike's saying Masai should become the Adam Silver of the Africa League. Yeah. I mean, I feel like in some ways, because he's so established in this continent and market, he's better used for exposure in around here than just going back to Africa and running things there. So in some ways, he has a brand and a name here that he shouldn't turn his back on. In some ways, he may need to still be tethered to North America in certain ways. He may need to, yeah. Let's see. Stargate is saying Garrett is the VP and the executive of the Players Association, guys. Some of you are being short-sighted when it comes to his role on the team. I'm not saying that it's not the right move. It's just I also understand that if Garrett can only give a certain amount on the court, then why waste a roster spot on him? And a lot of people have pushed in the last couple of years, why don't they make Garrett Temple an assistant coach? And then we don't, but I also tell them it's like, look, it's different being a coach than being a player, because the players are with each other in different places that the coaches aren't. And if you have Garrett with the young guys in all places where they go as a team, he can be there as a leader in places where the coach is not there. Like none of the coaches, none of the assistant coaches, not Darko, not Bobby Webster. And Garrett can kind of be there with the guys in the middle of it as a player on the team. That's part of it right there. That's part of it right there. And yeah, Garrett's involved in the Players Association. I'm sure he's going to be working very closely with Fred. Very, very closely. Smooth saying Dodgers got Andrew Friedman from Tampa Bay and Alex Anthopoulos. I wasn't sure who the name is. It wasn't Cashman. Okay. From the Blue Jays back in 2015-16. Their front office was a collection of the best minds in baseball. That's the Lakers' aim. I think you're right, Lex. Well, we know Ujiri is the biggest free agent now, and we know he's the best. We know it. And that's why I feel like there's a huge chance of this happening. Now, it's whether he wants it or not. It really is. In some ways, I could see Masai saying, no, I don't want to be involved in the Lakers. This is messed up. It's messed up. Mike saying JV's Braun impression on European TV was fire, not going to lie. Jonas Valanciunas did a LeBron James impression. That's hilarious. It's hilarious. Stargate saying, think outside the box when it comes to people like Garrett Temple, folks. The way the league views and treats this organization, a person like Garrett on this Temple is more valuable than just on the court. It's true, because he politicizes for us. He stands up for us. He has a lot of deep connections around the league, played with so many different players on so many different teams for so many different coaches. He has a relationship with a person on every single team in this league, and he has relationships with the referees also. And that is very valuable. In some ways, he has a respect with somebody like James Capers Jr., that he could take James Capers aside and maybe talk to him and advocate for the Raptors in ways that are very helpful. We'll just put it that way. I agree with that. I agree with that. Wayne said, we can talk about Lakers after they actually do something. They haven't done anything yet. So we can opine on an actual decision, but we can't even put a name on a board member, much less what they want. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I get it, Wayne. And I want you to be the sergeant at arms and keep us within the rails of what we're supposed to be talking about. And I get your sensitivity here on this. And you know what? I'm fine with this. No more Laker talk today, guys. No more Laker talk. James is saying, did you hear about the green card citizen denied entry to America from a Canada visit? Wild. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I'm an American citizen, but if I go across the border to go back, if they look at my social media, they may tell me I can't come into my own country, even though I'm American. Because I'm very left, and on my social media, there's a ton of stuff that's anti-Trump and that's totally for left-wing policies and socialism and like people and humanity. They could look at my social media at the border and deny me entry to the country. That's not freedom. I mean, I'm supposed to be allowed to go in that country no matter what, because I'm a citizen of the United States, right? But I could see them doing this to me. It was like, oh no, we're not letting you come back in, Lex. He's talking about taking citizenship away from Rosie O'Donnell right now. She lives in Ireland now. She left. She's like, I don't want to be anything to do with Trump America. She took off, and now he's just he's like just being retribution and like revenge on his enemies. It's like, Rosie O'Donnell ain't got nothing to do with you. She's been your enemy for so long. And it just shows who he is, honestly. He's really awful, really, really awful for the United States. And Americans need to take their country back. Y'all need to do the Marie Antoinette. You need to do the French Revolution, y'all. He doesn't need to say let you eat cake. You need to go for it now. Seriously, because if you don't, you're going to accept more and more the erosion of your freedom and your society, and you're going to find yourself all of a sudden living in a really fucked up country of not freedom in any kind of way. And you can think it won't touch you. Oh, he's only going after the illegals and these kind of people are enemies. Bullshit. He's going after whoever the fuck he wants. And it will turn on whoever he wants eventually. And he will expect you to lick his boot and kiss his ass. And if you don't, you're going to alligator Alcatraz. Shit like that. Seriously. It's messed up, man. I'm going to keep going. Monique is here. Good to see Superfan Mo. Happy game day, Raptor Free crew. Let's keep it rolling. That's right. Let's keep the W's rolling. I'm all about that. Totally, Monique. I'm all about that. Ninja's saying, y'all going to be in Discord for the game today? I may join in. I will be in Discord. We were there for the game on Friday. And yeah, Stargate and Rob and Fiercey were in there talking to me during the game. So yeah, you guys can come in and check in on me. I will be in there sitting, and we can talk during the game if you guys want to. That's one of the benefits of being a member of the channel and being in the Discord. You can do that. Trevor's saying, when people see AJ Lawson on the Raptors team doing well, they will want him off the team too. Yeah, I mean, because he's Brampton. He's a hometown hero. But he's small potatoes. In some ways, he's not on the radar. People aren't going to say that. It's much more prominent with RJ because of his history with the Knicks and the fact that, like, they can't stand the fact that he may be a better player on the Raptors, and he's way more happier on the Raptors than he was on their team. So they can't stand that. In some ways, this is the way this energy manifests, is this toxic online shit that you see. Yeah. Thank you for the cutoff, Trevor. And Monique's saying congratulations to Fred. This is huge. Yeah, that's a really big deal. The new title for Fred. We're very proud of him. Very, very proud of Fred VanVleet. Wayne saying, ditto that, Mo. Fred is a perfect person for the job. He's not afraid to speak up and accept the consequences. Big congratulations to Fred VanVleet. I think that, like I said, his experience as an undrafted and working his way up all the way through to where he got to is very beneficial to understanding all different players at different levels, plight, and what they're trying to do in the NBA. So he may look out more for undrafted two-way guys and different people like that. So Ninja saying, I was going to ask, am I messed up for second guessing the NBA's Players Association signing due to the end of his tenure with the Raptors? But Wayne and Mo's comments make me feel like I am. Yeah, I think that the misrepresentation of what Fred did that summer when he took the contract with Houston instead of staying with us, it's really silly. I know that some people were mad at him and they said, oh, he chose the Rockets over the Raptors and he sold us out. I never saw it that way. You've got to understand, I was really on the pulse of the Raptors at that time. Fred was not going to come back no matter what. And it just needed to be a change. And I'm so happy he catapulted into a huge contract with the Rockets and got way more money than he ever thought he'd ever get in his entire life in that contract with the Rockets. I didn't hate on any of that. I knew that the changing the guard with the Raptors was coming, that, you know, even the stuff with Siakam and OG, as much as I wanted it to work out, it was going to probably have to go in a different direction. And you know what? It really helped Fred so much. I'm not a hater like that. The people that are mad at Fred going there and making so much money, they hated Fred while he was on our team too. And I don't like that. I don't like that. He was such a good Raptor. He's a legend, and he did so many good things for our team. I love Fred. I love Fred so much. And, you know, he didn't deserve some of the critiques about how he left and where he went. He's a player. He has to make his money while he can. And that was a huge opportunity. Nobody could give up. You have somebody coming at you with that kind of money. Yeah, you're going to have to say yes. You're going to have to say yes. That's it right there. Most saying, which player from our bench plays today that didn't? I don't know. They all played pretty much. I'd like to see Murray Boyles play. I'd like to say Murray Boyles show up and play today, obviously. The New Zealand kid did not get in. So maybe we'll see the New Zealand kid, Tate, Brown Tate. Maybe we'll see him out there. And say, I think it's more the Nick Nurse and Fred duo that rubbed me the wrong way out the grand scheme. I definitely don't hate him at all. Did you do the classic card? No, I haven't done the classic card. I'm going to do it in a second. Well, Nick was much more toxic and a problem on the download than you guys actually realize. You know, he really fucked us up. I think he was purposely sabotaging us the last year he was on our team. He sabotaged Koloko. He sabotaged us in the play-in. And at the end of the season, he was pulling punches. There were a lot of games during that year where it didn't look like the Raptors were winning the way they were supposed to because Nick Nurse stopped coaching at times and just let them do what they were doing, and they flounder and lose. So I blame a lot of the issues that have happened in years recently on Nick Nurse being a charlatan, being a fake, knowing that he was going to go to Philadelphia while he was still the Toronto Raptors coach, and on some ways being destructive to our team on the down low and the inside without anybody knowing. And then going right away to Daryl Morey and the Sixers. I mean, why can't you see that that's kind of fucked up, Raptors fans? That Nick knew he was going to go to a division rival, a hated rival. And while he was still with us, he could fuck us up a little bit on the way out. And that's what he did. That's what he did right there. Yeah. Trevor's saying now as Raptors players are gone, they're being recognized. Yep. That's the case. It happens that way sometimes. Most saying W stream, W vibes, go Raptors for life. Keep at it, Lex. Raptor Freak Crew, strong forever. Just helping Lex limit the comments. I appreciate you, Mo. Appreciate you being here this morning. Wayne saying Brampton domination, Raptors Freaks. What's the prediction for the margin we win by today? I'm good with 13 points. Conservative optimism. I think we're going to beat them by 20 again, at least 20. I think that if we can beat this other team by 40 and they were way better, we could beat them by 50. Seriously. I'm saying we're going to beat them by at least 20. If not 30 today. Seriously, that's what my prediction is for today. That's not being conservative. That's where I think they're exactly going to be. Mike saying, call an exclusive interview on ES by Athletic NBA Daily. Okay. I don't understand that. All right, there's a classic card. All right, we'll do that right now. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys sticking with me on this. Fuck this guy. I don't like him. I don't want to do his card. That was Brogdon, guys, by the way. Malcolm Brogdon. I don't even know why I pulled that card. Who's that? Is that our guy? Oh, crap, it is. All right, we'll do this card. All right, I might have given you all a clue just now. This is a great card, and this is the opposite of the Malcolm Brogdon card I just pulled. Some ways I'm like, I don't even know how much I should show. There you go. There's the card. Can you tell me who that is? That's pretty easy. Look at this card. It's a great card. Full name answer. All 3 names, please. Right now. And happy birthday to this guy once again. There you go. You guys know who that is. Come on now. There you go. Slug Deezy's here. Slug Deezy jumping in. It is Isaac's birthday. And I don't know if Adriana's still here. I'd let her rule on this, but she hates me right now. She doesn't want to talk to me. So I don't know if she'll say it. What do you guys think? Should I give it to Slug Deezy, even though he wrote Shay's name wrong? And he really messed up his middle name. I feel like Isaac's birthday should supersede this. He's right there, and he's closer on spelling it. So, you know what? I'm going to give points to both Slug Deezy and Isaac Campbell. Yeah, look at that nice SGA card. You guys like that card, the ticket card? His hair's kind of goofy. Yeah, there's our MVP, birthday boy yesterday. Shaggy will just I'm going to split points for Isaac and Slug Deezy on that one. Because it's Isaac's birthday. We want to look out for Isaac a little bit here. So let's do, this isn't a big card, but it was SGA's birthday yesterday. So what we'll do is we'll do 100 points for both you guys on this. So Isaac and Slug getting the classic card jointly, 100 points for both of them on that. Boom goes the dynamite. Yeah. Happy birthday to Isaac for sure. Drake got a SGA tattoo. Okay, that's interesting news. Interesting news indeed. All right, let me review my tabs. Once again, the Orlando Magic roster is not as good as the Bulls roster, and we routed the Bulls. So I feel real good about today. They lost their first game to Sacramento already. So the Magic have already 0-1 at the Summer League. Tristan Da Silva is the key player to watch, the rookie from last year, number 18 for the Magic, 18th pick last year. Jace Richardson and Noah Penda, the 2 draft picks for them this year, are other players to watch out for. Kyler Kelly, former Raptor 905 player, is also involved in the game today. So check that out. Let's see. Once again, go to Santa's Station if you want to get some good local eats in Sutton at 5189 Baseline Road, Sutton, Ontario. Santa's Station is awesome for food. I ate there yesterday. It was really, really good. And let's see. Raptors Reddit, they're talking about Fred VanVleet being the new president of the Players Association. That's awesome. They're also talking about Brandon Ingram's declaration that we're going to make the playoffs. So I love that, all that. Let's see. Also, the birthday is here. It is Isaac, and that's it. Isaac Campbell, happy birthday. And I think that's it. I think I've gotten through my tabs, and everything has been accomplished that we normally do on our channel today. Yeah, the game is at 6 p.m. today. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the Discord. Nins, looking forward to seeing you there. Hopefully Isaac can be in there a little bit on his birthday. Stargate, as always. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the Discord around 6 p.m. and talking during the game on the Discord server on the mics. And yeah, we'll have a discussion about what we see on the court. And let's go Raptors. Fully expect them to rout them tonight. That is my prediction. If anything else happens, well, we'll analyze it and we'll react to it tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. And we'll talk about exactly what happens. I'm expecting good things, though. And I want to see more Alijah Martin. I'd love to see Colin Murray-Boyles show up and finally play today. Hopefully he's not abducted today. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching the Raptor Freak stream. I appreciate everybody. I love you guys. Yeah, you know, life is tough. Life is hard. Life is crazy. Life changes. And I mean, I'm at a loss for words in certain areas and aspects in my life right now. And all I can do is go forward. And I hope that everybody that's hearing me right now can go forward also. All right. I love you guys. Let's go, Raptors. Let's beat the Magic, baby. Woo!